Welcome. It is precisely 8 o'clock Eastern time and not a second later. Here we are. Maybe
Clearly.
I'm getting some texts like, I don't know, hey, I've been watching your stream for an hour. I think you're like an hour behind, but I assure you it is 8 o'clock on the dot. I don't know what you're talking
Sure.
about. All of you are insane, and I think you should get checked out. Now that
Insane in the
the
membrane.
Gaslight Gatekeep Girl Boss is out of the way, welcome back to the Experience Point. It's another Talk Tuesday. It's another Josh Koval. How are you? I mean,
Me?
pretending we didn't just talk about real life shit for an hour.
Just dealing with so much anxiety and real life stuff. It sucks. Real quick, I don't know if they're in chat. I know they show up to Talk Tuesday. Actually, I do see them in. I see them in the chat. Just a quick shout out to Gilmer, who has been very kind and reached out to me a few times, knowing I've been dealing with some stuff. So I really, once again, I thanked him earlier on Discord. Want to thank him again on stream. Just really appreciate
Nice.
him just reaching out, and it's meant a lot. So thank you.
Very cool, Gilmer. And we didn't even need to make a dick joke for it.
Well, the help was so big it was like a giant penis.
Okay. That was very subtle. The help was so big, it was like a giant penis.
How big was it?
Where was she going?
Oh
Wow.
my god. Anyway,
Any freaking
what an
way.
intro, right?
Yeah.
Yes, life be lifing, but other than that, I am surviving.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say good, but I'm not bad either. I'm more like in the middle, but just a smidge depressed.
Yeah,
No more than a smidge, just depressed. I'm in the middle, but depressed, which is better than last week. So I'll take a win where I can get it.
Yeah. Surviving is okay. You're not always going to be thriving as long as you're surviving. Wish I had some shades to put on or something. We may not be thriving, but god damn it, we're going to be surviving. And
yeah,
we-
so that I'm fine. How are you?
I am also fine and surviving, as we also talked about a little bit off mic. But these Talk Tuesdays always make me feel better by the end of them. Just talking about being burned out, feeling burned out, and just wanting some shit to go right as far as my goals and dreams and stuff go. But it's a slog sometimes.
It's funny. We were both talking about how burnout we've been. I haven't been streaming a lot for that same reason. Like it's hard to build motivation, but Talk Tuesday is always something where it's like, even if I'm feeling down, it doesn't usually. I'd say I think I can count on one hand, maybe twice in the entire year plus we've been doing it,
Yeah.
where it felt like I was like, oh, I have to do this tonight. And that's just
Yeah.
because, extenuating circumstances.
Sure.
Um,
And being on,
like-
it's not easy to do
Yeah.
when you're like that. Also, welcome, Drew. Drew the Damager.
What's up, Drew?
I love that little skull emoji. Yeah, it
what I was
is
gonna say was
work
just,
to be, on in front of a camera and turn the lights on and stuff. And, I do that just about every day when I'm streaming. I'm like, oh, I have to stream. I've been trying to reframe, my therapist, when I had one, has been, we've been working on some reframing. So trying to, instead of focusing on the I have tos, it's think of that, the I get tos. I get to play video games and record them and have some really awesome people in the chat to talk to and have these moments and these experiences solidified for all time. And to remember back on and look back on. Almost as if it were summer 1975.
Oh, what do you know?
What a segue. Actually, it would probably be prudent to not start with our main topic, of which we have a very good one to talk about. Is there anything... I mean, I know we're already an hour late, but little things you want to throw out?
Okay,
Anything?
I got nothing going on tonight.
Yeah, what?
Except this, of course.
Any things you want to throw out that you experienced, either for good or bad? Anything that moved you
Sure.
this week?
Well, I talked to you a little bit about it off mic with I'm still reading, the Wheel of Time book, the
Yeah.
first book, The Eye of the World. I am so close to finishing it all. Look at that last little sliver up
Nice.
there. That's all that's left, and I am very much loving this series. It's fantastic.
Welcome to the Still
Um,
Reading podcast.
Seriously. Uh, so that's been fun. Something that was kind of cool today, I showed my daughter Looney Tunes. She had never really watched Looney Tunes.
Oh, okay. Now
Uh,
what iteration? Like the OGs?
the OGs, yeah.
Okay, because there's some
We
new ones
we
that are supposed to be really good.
the newer ones are actually really good. They did some newer stuff, and it's really well done. I
Yeah.
showed her the OGs though, and I did have to be selective
Sure.
because
Yeah.
obviously there's lots of racist. I don't know
Mhm.
why I was like, I
Mhm.
was determining saying problematic or just being blunt. No, straight up blunt. It's just racist shit.
Yeah, yeah. It's racist
Um,
with the hard
there's
R.
with that said, as kids, you have no idea
Yeah, yeah.
that's what it is. So, not that I'm like showing her the racist ones, but I'm trying to avoid as much as I can. The other thing is that they are extremely violent. I forgot, like, there's so many times, like, I'm watching this with my 4-year-old daughter, and there's a moment where a dude sticks a knife to Bugs Bunny's throat, and he's like poking at like
Yeah.
his Adam's apple. I'm like, holy fuck!
Josh has interviewed so many
I
authors
have
lately.
interviewed a lot of authors recently.
Still reading, still loading, still reading, still bonding,
Still family.
still family. Ah, that's the only one that like
From
breaks
like,
the mold a bit. There should have been still driving.
yeah, I didn't want to do that. I like Still Family because it's something specific to Fast and Furious.
Yeah, that's true.
Um, and I actually have to figure out what I'm going to do for. I'm currently editing my F9 episode.
Nice.
So all that's left is the Fast X, which I'm
Yeah.
excited about. But yeah. So showed her those. She loves Wile E. Coyote. Loves Wile E.
Yeah,
Coyote. and
those are my
Roadrunner.
favorite. The Roadrunner
Those are
and Wile E. Coyote
Mhm.
have always been my favorite Looney Tunes.
Those are great, and also I've always been a fan of Bugs Bunny. Will always be a fan of Bugs
Yeah,
Bunny.
yeah. Non-binary icon Bugs Bunny.
Yes,
Yeah.
gender fluid icon.
Yep.
Just switching out on a whim. Bugs Bunny's fucking great. I love Bugs
Yeah.
Bunny. So that was cool for her to experience that. Like, because I showed it to her like a year ago or so, but she didn't like that there is so much like animosity between the characters. Like,
Okay.
she had never seen, like, because if you think about it, like every one of those involves generally involves a character who is being antagonized and a character who's antagonistic.
Yeah.
And
That's a very kind
the
way
way
to
they
put it.
go,
Like,
and well, that is a very direct way to put it.
Yeah.
But the methods in which that they deal with it is always violence.
Yeah.
Always.
right.
That is the first thought of every character. Can I put a stick of dynamite in this? Can I bring a gun somehow?
Beat it to death with
can
a bat.
With a club or something
Yeah.
like that? Yeah. Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner felt the least of it because it was like, oh, it's nature. Coyote's trying to eat a Roadrunner for food. And it was
Yeah, I
just-
guess that's true.
She already knows about the circle of life and stuff like that. So that's kind of funny.
The circle of life, because out in the wild, coyotes will actually strap giant rockets to their backs while they're on roller skates
Well,
to try
it's
murder their prey.
more natural than like watching a human try to cut. Like
Yeah.
the one where the dude was putting a knife to Bugs' neck. It's because he was a gambler who needed. His luck had run out, so he tried to get a lucky rabbit's foot. So he was trying to get one. So he literally was going
Oh
to
my
go
God.
up to Bugs Bunny and cut off his foot for.
Holy shit, that's so
Yeah.
dark. Wow. Yeah, that's wild.
So I'm kind of like, well, now that plot is so like, as an adult, you pick up on it immediately. It goes by so quickly. I know she wasn't going to be able to understand. Like, she doesn't
Yeah.
understand the concept of a lucky rabbit's foot or that type of stuff. So, I wasn't too worried about it. But I showed her a couple Bugs Bunny, and that was really fun. Yeah. So
I
showed
like
her
Marvin
that.
the Martian.
I remember Marvin the Martian.
Yeah.
He
You
wasn't
have
my
come to my
favorite either.
planet. He's always trying to like
you-
vaporize him.
plutonium's is whatever explosive space modulator. Did
Also,
that showed her that today? Sorry, go on.
just on Marvin the Martian, I heard something recently. I don't know if this is true and intended from the creators, but it's very interesting that in Space Jam, from what I heard, is in Space Jam, Marvin the Martian is the referee because he's a neutral party between Earth and the Monstars and the aliens who, became the
That
Monstars.
honestly makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, I'm like, I love that. He's like, let's have a nice, clean game now.
Um, and then so showed her that. Sorry, there's a moth flying in my room. It's driving me nuts right now.
Masura.
Oh,
that just reminded me of something that I experienced. Oh, I'm gonna hold that on my nose.
Is it Godzilla related?
It actually is, and it's so funny because I talked about Godzilla last time too.
No, it's funny. My next thing is also somewhat Godzilla related.
Oh, that's a segue.
I went to RetroCon over the weekend.
Oh, sick.
Just for one day. I actually met Maurice LaMarche. The person who was kind of like the con staff who's like, taking the money and still kaiju.
Still kaiju.
Who was kind of handling the money. I said, hey, I don't have money for a signature. Can I just show Maurice LaMarche something? Because he's a big James Bond fan. So I showed him my James Bond tabletop RPG. Mentioned I really liked him on the James Bonding podcast and this and that. And he gave me his email.
Very cool. Potential guest?
Hopefully. And you know what? I'll do this real quick because my wife is about to get home from where she's at. And when she walks in the door, my dog is in the same room.
Oh, okay.
Now. And when he hears that door open, he's going to lose his goddamn mind.
Oh,
so to spare all your ears, I'm going to go take him outside quick. But
okay.
I did get my daughter 2 toys. I brought my daughter there, first con she's ever been to, and she really enjoyed it. We were only there for like 2 hours or so. But I got her two toys, and then a stall there gave her a third for free.
Aww.
And 2 of them were Godzilla toys.
Yo!
So it's kind of cool.
That's awesome.
I will be right back. Feel free to talk some Godzilla.
All right.
I'm going to let the dog out.
Let the nugget out. Yeah, I think Gilmer, I think still kaiju. The first thing I thought of was like still stomping. Like, what do kaiju do? Stomping. Keeping it with like the still loading, still reading, still. I still think still family. It breaks it. Still bonding. Still loading. Still reading. Still sleeping. It's just a podcast of silence. He just records it while he's asleep. Somebody would listen to that. Because you never know when you'd strike gold and somebody would start talking in their sleep. You'd just be listening to silence and all of a sudden it's, you gotta get outside. Okay, he's coming outside. He's coming outside. What? Purple? I've been seeing a lot of TikToks and stuff about people recording themselves sleeping who are notorious sleep talkers. And that shit is terrifying. Partially because they have to do the low light, like, what do you call it? Like not night vision camera, but like basically the low light vision cameras, and their eyes are always looking like they're bugging out because their pupils are so huge because they're in the dark, but the camera can see them, and they just look like pale, ghostly figures in the night, just suddenly talking the most nonsense you've ever heard. Besides the nonsense you can hear talked here on the Experience Point every Tuesday on Talk Tuesdays. Sometimes it's me talking to an empty room. Other times it's this. No, I shouldn't be self-deprecating because sometimes my normal streams are me talking to an empty room is what the joke was. Because I'm still a wee streamer. But speaking of guests, I should try to have more guests on. The room's not empty. We are here. That is true. And I always appreciate everyone who comes and hangs out in the chat, even if they're not chatting, if I feel like I'm just by myself playing a video game, I feel like an insane person. But even just seeing that there's one person lurking is enough to make it worth it. So I appreciate y'all. And I see y'all lurking. You guys are rad. If you can't deprecate yourself, who can you deprecate? Well, it's like my pa always used to say. Deprecate yourself before you defecate yourself. And I took that to heart. And I took that to shart. Yeah, I do think you have to deprecate yourself. But, not to get real. Not to get real fast. I did that for so long. Like, my self-deprecating humor was just, I would just snap to it. And I had to stop doing that because I realized that I was like believing the things that I was saying. And it's like, oh, it's so funny. Like, oh, wow. Oh, my God, I'm such a stupid piece of shit. And it's like, okay. That gets old fast. I had to go through a lot of therapy to unlearn that. So, yes, I think you should be able to laugh at yourself. But you also need to be able to build yourself up because you won't have anything left if you keep cutting yourself down, and the world wants to cut you down too, so you might as well be on your own team. Most of the time, anyway. But you can't be stuck up your own ass so far that you think you can never do wrong or think that you can't ever improve. This is now the wellness portion of the experience point. I think I've talked about this before. This rainbow thing around here, it's not just showing that like this is a safe place for LGBT, though it is. I don't know how much I've talked about explicitly what all these parts of the branding are, because I haven't really explored them too much on their own. But there's 7 colors in this gradient. And they all pertain to something that I tend to talk about the most or cover the most on this channel. And so red is film and animation. Orange is food and drink. Yellow is tabletop. Green is video games. The teal color is, and I want to do more of this type of content, like adventure. Like I made all these little sub logos, and it's like experience film and animation, experience food and drink, experience tabletop, experience video games, experience adventure is that teal color. And if you go on my YouTube, you'll see like I use that specific color for when there are topics, when the video is only that topic. So you see a lot of green because most of what I do is video gaming related. But when I cover a movie, it's red. I want to do more like travel stuff, and not just travel, but like little things can be adventures too. Like finding out there's a place that carries your favorite ice cream and going to get it and talking about it. Although maybe ice cream's not a good example because that I would probably say that's under food. Travel, going to, if I want to talk about a really cool park that I went to, I don't know, that would be experience adventure. And then what else we got? Purple is the arts. So when we talk about art, music, cosplay, crafting something, like creating something, theater, and then pink is for wellness, and that's I want to talk more about like mental health and stuff on here because it's something that's super important to me, and it's also like physical health. I talk about it a lot. I'm talking about it less and less because I'm getting more and more out of shape, but I still really want to do American Ninja Warrior, and so if I go to do like a cool obstacle course race or something and I record it, or even just if I don't and I just want to talk about it, make a video on it, that would be wellness too, because it's physical health, it's mental health. So that's why the main like branding is, you'll see these kind of rainbow things because they all represent something that's important to me.
I'm back.
Speaking of something that's important to me, Josh Koval has returned.
Okay.
How is the nugget?
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
He's fine. Didn't even bark at all.
Nice.
Worked out well.
Silent nugget. I was saying instead of still kaiju, it should be still stomping.
I like it.
I also
We're
said,
still kaiju.
yeah, yeah. I also said a bunch of other stuff that I just go back and just rewatch this on YouTube.
Sounds good.
But yeah, so somebody gave your kiddo some Godzilla toys at this con?
Yeah, so we bought a little one for $5, and it's Shimo. I don't even know. It's white with like blue spines coming out.
Oh, that's from I think that's from the legendary movies, like the American ones. I think it's an original character. Maybe it existed previously.
And then the one that was given to her, then we bought like a random dragon one. Like it was a dragon without missing its wings, but like she loves dragons right now.
Nice.
So she looks at Godzilla and she's like, "Oh, it's a dragon."
Huh?
I'm like, "Sure."
Is it the 3-headed dragon?
She did get the one that was given to her was a 3-headed one. King
Ghidorah.
Yeah, Ghidorah.
Yeah. Classic.
And it's a dragon. It's a little egg that opens up into King Ghidorah.
Nice.
Excuse me. So she loves them. She was carrying them around like for a long time.
Aww.
It's also been cool. Last thing I'll say, because I'm going to be guesting on another podcast to talk about this game somewhat soon. Astrobot.
Oh! I need it.
It's fantastic.
I know.
It is absolutely fantastic. And my daughter is obsessed with it.
Yeah.
I've logged probably about, what did I say? I beat it earlier this year. I'll say I logged like 20 to 30 hours in it, if that. We're up to 95 because she plays it so much. She's good at it too.
Yes.
Little 4-year-old, and she's like, her motor skills have improved so much. She plays it like every day. It's really fun. I will sit in a chair so like the way I have it set up, if anyone who watches my streams, I'm always looking this way because that's where the TV is.
Yeah.
So she'll sit in my chair here where I'm sitting right now, play Astrobot, and then I have a big comfy recliner over in the corner that I sit in and I read my Wheel of Time book while she's playing. And it's very nice.
That's so cute. Yeah, I'm dying to get that game. I follow this account on, I forget if it's Instagram or Facebook, probably both, called Cheap Ass Gamer, and they always post like a bunch of deals of when games are on sale and stuff. And Astrobot was on sale for like, I don't know, $30 or $40 recently, and I went to go get it and it was already sold out, and I was like, no. But then I also saw that Final Fantasy 16 was on sale for $20, so I picked up a copy of that for PS5. So stoked.
I need to get Final 16 still.
Yeah.
I also need to get Clair Obscure, but that's a different thing.
God, that's on my list too. And yeah, Gilmer, the new Astrobot controller looks great. Is the touchpad like a screen on that one, or is it just like made to look like the eyes? I'm curious. Ifrit. Yeah. I guess this. Well, I can make this a segue if you were done with things that you have experienced, but
I think that's all the big stuff. RetroCon was fun. I got Maurice LaMarche's email, which I did email him that day because I was like rushing out. Because the handler was like, "Hey, like make it quick because you're not paying for anything." Totally fair. Totally get that, right? So I kept trying to cut the conversation short, and he kept like asking questions, and I'm like, I'm flattered, but I don't want to take up too much of your time.
Yeah. Did he know you didn't pay?
So I emailed him. Yeah.
Okay.
He knew. He was very sweet, very sweet. But I think I had a different angle than anyone else. I wasn't there to talk about Pinky and the Brain or anything like that.
Yeah.
I was literally there just
he's
to be
Brain.
like, hey, he's Brain.
Oh, okay. I thought that voice, the name was familiar.
He and Rob Paulson was there, who's the voice of Pinky.
Yeah, I love him. He's been.
Who was also the voice of Raphael from TMNT.
Yep, and Yakko.
Yakko. He's done so many voices.
Yeah.
But I I mean, I always obviously like both of their works, but Maurice LaMarche, I mean, he endeared himself to me not just because I knew his work, but because he was on that James Bonding podcast and he was so funny. I wanted to talk to him more about it, but because I couldn't, I had to rush. Him and the host of the podcast, one of the hosts of the podcast, um, basically like he did his Orson Welles impression or Brain, right? And
Yeah.
Maurice LaMarche did his Brain voice. And then Matt Gorley, the host of the podcast, did his Ian Fleming impression, which I don't think even I don't know what Ian Fleming even really sounded like.
Yeah.
But his version of his interpretation of what he's assuming Ian Fleming sounded like is one of the most strange, funny voices I've ever heard in my life.
Okay.
Uh, I wish I could do it justice. I wish I could say, but he like for like the way he pronounces things is just so different. He speaks in his affectation of a British accent, right?
Yeah.
But like instead of saying Jamaica in a British accent, he'll go like Jamaica or something like that.
Just sounds like he's saying it in a Jamaican accent.
Jamaica, I'm flaming, don't you know? One of my favorite jokes that he ever did in that voice. He's like, I'm already smoking, but could I trouble you for a cigarette?" Just really goofy stuff like that. So Ian Fleming and Orson Welles had a conversation, but it was Maurice LaMarche as Orson Welles
Yeah.
and Matt Gorley as Ian Fleming, and it was one of the funniest. I love it so much. Anytime Matt Gorley does Ian Fleming is like one of my favorite things. It's one of the silliest impressions I've ever heard.
That's great. Yeah, now that you mention it, the Brain voice is just
It's Orson Welles.
Orson Welles.
That's all it is.
God, he was so good in that first Transformers movie as Unicron. Oh my God.
I forgot he was in that.
Yeah.
I forgot he was in that. Isn't that his final role?
It very well might have been.
I'm pretty sure that's his final role.
What a way to go out. God, that movie.
But anyway, so what did you want to transition into?
Well, now I can just say that I wasn't going to talk about this, but Stan Bush is coming out with new music in 2025.
What?
Yeah. And it sounds like
He's got the touch.
he's got the touch. He still hasn't lost the touch.
He's got the power.
Yeah. He dares to be all that he can be. And he is I don't think anything will ever touch those highs. But it's still solid. It still sounds like it was produced in the 80s. Like if he had put out this album and someone had been like, "Oh yeah, these are all a bunch of unreleased tracks from around that era, when he was as big as he was." I'd be like, "Okay, yeah, that tracks." But that tracks. But it's pretty good. And most impressive is that it's in 2025 and it sounds like it's from 1985. Like, it's wild.
I love that type of. No, it's funny thinking of like 80s music. I've also been getting into like Hall and Oates more recently.
Oh, okay.
And that's very 80s. But like I've been following John Oates, who is the Oates half of Hall and Oates.
Yeah.
Who's from Philly, by the way.
Oh, nice.
And he's releasing new music too. So just thinking of like old 80s artists releasing new music just made me think of it. Sorry,
That's
continue.
funny.
Stan Bush, 2025 new music.
I'm laughing because yeah, that's all I have to say about that. I just found it interesting, and we were talking about Transformers, which reminded me. So I'm only laughing when you talk about Hall and Oates. I forget if I've talked about this before. Up until embarrassingly recently, because I never listened to them, I thought it was one guy named Holland Oates. Like Holland.
I mean,
Oates.
okay, so mine wasn't. I was going to say you don't need to feel that bad. So I didn't think that though. I always knew it was. I shouldn't say I always knew. I realized it was Hall and Oates.
Yeah.
But I didn't start enjoying their music until the last couple of years, only because whenever someone says, "Oh, I love Hall and Oates," I'm like, that sounds like an old person cereal.
Yeah. I love Hall and Oates.
Listen to that.
Back and forth between the barn and the house. I've been Hall and Oates all day. Yeah. Although,
like, I don't want that.
You know what else?
Why?
Sounds like a really, really old person cereal, which it kind of is. Cracklin' Oat Bran. That shit slaps. Holland
It's
Oat.
very cinnamony, right?
It is very cinnamony, and it's dense. It's like eating
Cinnamony.
bricks. So I'll haul your oats. Don't threaten me with a good time, Gilmer. Yeah, your mom was hauling my oats last night. Oh, God. Well, since we're on food, I guess I could talk about this thing that I just noticed is sitting in front of me. I just talked about how, like, all the parts of the little rainbow logo, rainbow elements of this have to do with things that I talked about. Orange is food and drinks. I've been re-addicted to these little shitty bodega sour watermelon strips. You can see the big 99 cents thing on it. They are so good. My second favorite candy in the world is Sour Patch Kids watermelon. But if you eat them too much, it feels like your tongue is being deatomized. And these things that you can probably get at your local shitty gas station for 99 cents are just the right amount of sour. That doesn't feel like you've been making out with a broken mirror when you're done eating them. I like food and or drinks.
Broken mirror sour? I would just say it's painful.
Well, yeah, but after you eat too much of the sour stuff, it just gives me that like razor blade tongue feeling, like when you eat too much pineapple, because it actually the acid is actually dissolving your tongue. Like that's why it hurts.
I always assumed that was just because like the sugars on those are like very coarse, like the physical sugar is always very coarse. I always assumed that was because like you're sucking on it or you're chewing it, and the sugars are so coarse it is like literally like brush burning your tongue or something.
No, that would make sense. I don't think so. I think it's the citric acid, because sour foods. Because if you eat too many warheads, they're not coarse, but I still get the razor blade tongue after that because of the citric acid. I think that's what makes sour food sour. Anyway, these things slap. Cracklin' Oat Bran, slap. Holland Oats, he slaps. He's almost as good as Simon and Garfunkel.
Simon and Schuster.
Simon and Schuster Audio presents.
Publishers.
I guess first segue from something that we were talking about, Godzilla related. I've only ever seen one Godzilla movie. Well, okay. That's a complete lie, because I talked about several Godzilla movies last time. Do you have experience with broken mirror makeouts, Andrew? They're not broken when I start. I like to go hard.
The logistics of that, like you just see yourself. Oh, I love myself so much. Imagine you just rush to a mirror and you're so excited to kiss yourself, you slam your face into it and it breaks.
Yeah, or just like kissing something so hard with the force enough to break glass.
That's some aggressive ass kissing right there.
That's how we do it. You should know. That's why we were an hour late
on Talk Tuesday. Aggressive kissing.
Yeah. Oh my god. But no.
The Andrew Kinsey story.
So yeah. so I like how I just came out talking about Godzilla with a straight up lie that I've only seen one Godzilla movie. Not true. I meant of the old school ones. I've seen all the new ones, like anything past the 1998 shitty one that we got. I've pretty much seen. So
that's the only one I've ever seen.
That's so funny. You should watch -1. It's excellent.
That I've heard is very good.
Yeah, but the old ones, rubber suit Godzilla movies, I've only ever seen one, and it was over here. It was called Godzilla versus the Sea Monster. In Japan, it was called Ebirah, Horrors of the Deep, or Horror of the Deep, because the monster in that one was just a big ass shrimp. If you speak Japanese, ebi, shrimp. That's the only one I've ever seen. I had a VHS movie of it, and I loved it so much. I was like, so this was probably 4th grade. I loved it so much. I would watch it all the time. I was like, I think my dad was like, yeah, there's a bunch of those movies. It's not just that one. And I was like, what? And then I talked about it in school the next day in like 3rd grade. And my one friend was like, oh yeah, I love Godzilla. you should come over. I have all of them. Remember last time we were talking about how kids like to lie?
Yeah.
This little shit kid. It wasn't the kid who like stole my action figures and wrote sex in the back of his book. A different kid. He was like, "Oh yeah, I have all of them. I have all the Godzilla movies. You should come over to my house and we should watch them." And I was like, "Oh my god, you just blew my mind." So I went over his house, and guess what? The only one that he had was.
What?
Godzilla
Same
versus
one you
the
had.
Sea Monster, the same one that I had. And I was like, oh, man. I mean,
Son of a bitch.
it was still fun. We still got to watch it, and it was, a good time. So fast forward to, I don't even know, probably, it was this weekend, so Saturday maybe, Friday night maybe. I couldn't sleep, and I just had like horrible nightmares. It was weird. I've been having like anxiety nightmares. I had a dream that I had to, like, my jaw started like really hurting again, and I had to go back to the dentist. And they did like, how they do the little camera, the colonoscopy camera, where you like they push it up through your butthole, and then you can see where it's going.
Not through personal experience,
Well,
but
yeah,
yes.
I haven't done one either, but that is the thing that they do. They did that in my mouth, and they were like looking into where they cut my wisdom teeth out, and they pushed the camera in there. This is the most dream bullshit. And it was just a cavernous, like, gaping, open wound, and there was a bunch of penguins living in my teeth, in my jaw, like little cartoon penguins. I was like,
excuse me.
I thought I stopped taking the painkillers because that was the shit I was seeing, the dreams I was having when I was on that.
Oh, jeez.
Anyway, I woke up and I was super anxious, and I actually was really dizzy, and I kind of felt like I was on those painkillers again. Maybe it's withdrawal. Is that a thing? I have no idea. I've never taken like narcotic painkillers before.
I mean, it could be. I mean, those things can get you addicted easily. So.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm gonna, I guess, just go out and watch YouTube out here on the couch until I fall asleep. And then I saw, I started following on YouTube this channel called Toku Shoutsu, and it's an official licensed, like they are licensing Kamen Rider and Super Sentai and Godzilla over here. So they're like, we're going to start streaming the new Kamen Rider over here, like day of when it releases in Japan, which I think is a first. So I was like, that's cool. I'll subscribe so that I can watch it, as it comes out. So I got a notification from them. It was like, we are live, Godzilla Marathon. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. And so I'm like, oh my God, I could fall asleep to some old school cheesy rubber suit Godzilla. I turn it on. Guess what movie is playing?
It's the same.
The same exact one. I was like, God damn it. I was like, okay, whatever. So I got, instead of just rewinding the feed and watching a different movie, because it had been going for like 4 hours, I was like, you know what? I'd kind of want to relive this. I haven't watched it in like 20 years. So it was only like maybe...
That's kind of awesome.
Yeah, it was great. So it was only like 20 minutes in. I ended up watching like most of the rest of the movie and then falling asleep and having the weirdest Japanese kaiju fever dreams, like rubber suit creatures attacking. And it was very bizarre, very funny. I apparently can't escape the Ebirah, the horrors of the deep. But it's pretty good. It came out in like the 60s or 70s or something, so it's like old. Okay. Like it feels like watching an old Bond movie, and the effects are not good at all.
Oh man, like it's so funny because you brought up some stuff that I was like. So by you bringing up Bond, something you said earlier reminded me of Bond, and I was going to go into it once you're done talking with the Godzilla thing. But then you still brought it up, and it's a perfect. It kind of works out really well. So when you were saying about how you said, like when you found out, then your dad told you like there's more than that one Godzilla, and you go, what?
Yeah.
And you like freak out. I remember that same reaction that I had. Excuse me, when I discovered there was more than one James Bond movie.
Oh yeah.
Because the first one I saw was The World Is Not Enough with Pierce Brosnan, and then I
Underrated.
learned about like tomorrow. Oh, I think it's his best one, and I don't even I genuinely don't even think it's nostalgia goggles saying that anymore. But that's a conversation for another day. Um, not the best
Die
Bond
Another
movie, but
Day.
best. That one's fun to watch. It's stupid, but it's
Yeah.
fun to watch. And goddamn the writers for giving Halle Berry the worst lines in the entire franchise.
I know.
Like,
Her movies are so
no,
polarizing. She has some absolute bangers, and then she has Die Another Day and Catwoman.
I genuinely think it's I don't know. I don't know if she's a good actress or not. I think a lot of it has to do with direction and writing. Um like, I think I don't know. The reason I'm saying that in Diner Day, she has that one line where she's being interrogated and the guy's like, "Who sent you?" And her her response is, "Your mama." And she wants me to tell you she's been very disappointed in you. And like that
That's like a
doesn't fit
Marvel
in a
line.
Bond movie. Yeah, it's so bad. Anyway, but I remember the first time though, I remember getting into Bond, and then I asked my mom, like, "Hey, could you rent another James Bond movie from the library?" Because we at that time we switched from Blockbuster to the library because the library was like $1 to rent a movie for a week,
Nice.
and Blockbuster was like $5 to rent for 5 days. So we're like, "Fuck it, we're just going to go to the library," and it's not like the movies are that much older. So we started renting from the library, and they had Die Another Day there. Not Die Another Day. Sorry, that's on the brain. You Only Live Twice, the
Okay.
fifth Sean Connery movie.
Yeah.
And man, let me tell you, that was a weird wake up call to James Bond. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like, I had no idea like how old the franchise was
Yeah.
and how much had changed in like the 30 years between when I started. There's like 35 years between the time that I watched You Only Live Twice and when it came out. Probably a little bit less.
And
But
going
still,
from
it was
at the time the newest one, to all the way back to
like
Connery.
3 Bonds prior.
Yeah.
Sorry, 4 Bonds prior. And that one is also, I mean, there's a lot of racism in the James Bond movies, the older Bond movies.
The yellow
But
face.
that one was especially, that one was when Bond turns Japanese.
Yeah.
Which I will give them slight props. They don't put on full yellow face, but they, like, in terms of like makeup, but they do give him. Actually, you know what? No, I can't give them any props. They put on prosthetic eyelids
I was
to
gonna
make his
say.
eyes more.
It's not
I'm
that
using
bad.
as big fucking quotations as I can. Asian.
Yeah.
It's so fucked up. Oh, sorry, more Japanese specifically. It's so fucked up. That movie is wonderful and stupid and racist and like there's so much in that movie. But I just remember watching it and be like, this is so different than what I was expecting a James Bond movie to be. Like,
Yeah.
it was such a weird culture shock going from Pierce Brosnan to You Only Live Twice. It was just so weird seeing that.
Yeah. That's a
And
shock.
then it was a huge shock. Then the other thing this has nothing to do with what we were just talking about, but just one last thing that I experienced that I wanted to shout out that I thought you would find interesting too. There is a YouTube channel of the dude. You've probably seen his like clips like on TikTok Reels or on TikToks or Instagram Reels or whatnot. His name is Josh Harmon, and he does like the Foley work.
Okay.
You'll see like a video of a video clip of an old cartoon, and he will do his own Foley over top of it, like Foley sound. You know what I'm
Okay.
talking about?
Yeah.
He started, so all of his stuff has always been short form content, like Reels, TikToks, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, that kind of stuff. Well, he recently did his first like longer video, and he got John Batiste on it, and it's him and John Batiste doing you know who John Batiste is?
No, who's that?
He's a famous pianist, like from New Orleans, and that man has like I've never seen someone more in love with music than him.
Yeah.
Like he loves music. He loves sound. He loves just like I almost think he might have like synesthesia in a sense where like when he hears stuff he can see shapes and colors and stuff like that. but he's a classically trained pianist who does a lot of like genre bending and stuff like that. So look up Jon for John, Batiste. But anyway, so he did a video with him, and it's like 19 minutes long of them creating sounds for like an old Popeye cartoon.
No, he's kind of young, isn't he?
John Batiste?
Yeah, isn't he?
Yeah, probably like in his mid 30s,
Okay.
maybe 40s.
Yeah, I think I've seen him before.
You know what though?
He's like a total savant. Like he's been doing it since he was like a kid,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, he's incredible. Like he's amazing, and he is 38. That man, goddamn son,
Black don't crack.
good looking dude. But yeah, he's fantastic, and so he's on the first episode with Josh Hartnett, and it is just so, how can I put this? There's so much joy. I was smiling ear to ear the whole time watching it, just because I'm a fan of like older cartoons, but like also like there's just like it's infectious. Like he's just so excited about it, and he talks about how much he like just likes. It's not that he likes music obviously, but he just loves sound, and so watching Foley work is like he kept telling Josh the whole time like this is some of the most fun I've ever had. And it was just so cool seeing it, and you could tell Josh is like this kind of slightly awkward, like nerdy-ish kid, because at the very end, the very, very end, they do a little impromptu Song of Storms from Ocarina of Time.
That's awesome.
So they both like video games a lot, and they kind of talked about that, and he just threw it in. He's like, yeah, we just did a quick arrangement together and came and played a song together. So like the Foley stuff actually only is like half of the 19-minute video, and then the other half like kind of interspersed, but the other half is Josh just talking to John about his thoughts about music and how he writes and how he like approaches things, and there's just so much joy and reverence for each other's art, and it's just amazing. I'll send you the link on Discord, Andrew, just because I really think you would enjoy watching it, if nothing more than just for the joy. Like it's just, there is so much joy. There's so many moments. Like I would argue, like 40% of the video is just John Batiste just going like really excitedly.
I love that, and seeing two creators like who are absolutely like top of their game, of their craft, like just exploring and like playing together, like improving music and sound effects and stuff over this track of an old cartoon. Like it just sounds like they had so much fun letting their like inner children out to like play together.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, and from the vibe I got though, Josh Hartnett doesn't do Foley work professionally. He's a drummer by trade.
Okay.
And he just like he likes Foley work. He's interested in it. It's something he's passionate about, but he's not a professional technically.
Yeah.
I guess now he is, because he gets paid through his TikTok reels and shit like that.
Nice.
But he like, I started going through like his reels and stuff like that, like his shorts, and he has like big name celebrities do stuff with it. Jacob Collier, Post Malone has done a couple with him.
Nice.
There's an artist I've never heard of. Her name's Laufey, Laufey.
Oh,
I looked her up on Instagram. She's got like millions of followers.
I've heard of her.
Jimmy Fallon. He had Jimmy Fallon on one.
Dang.
Jason Derulo. Like not like a lot of them are just him. Like 90%. Like 95% of them are just him. But like he gets like bigger name people to like do Foley work with him, and it's really cool to see.
Yeah. Nice.
And it's just people who like what he does, and they just want to like come hang out, and they want to do like improv Foley work together.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Just create stuff together. It reminds me of like Mark Rebier. I think we talked about. Oh, I thought we've talked about him before. He's the guy who does like those improv like sampling of beats, and he makes like, it's more comedic. But if you've ever heard, like, it became kind of a viral song where he's like, "Get the fuck out of bed, bitch, go!" And it's like this like it's sort of like this uplifting song that's just like when you don't want to, just like, get the fuck up, you snooze 3 alarms. But he just live like does these like comedic songs, but he makes beats in real time. So he'll like do samples and loops, and he'll do like stuff, with his voice. And he's had like Wayne Brady on to just make songs together. He's had Harry Mack on, who's an incredible freestyle rapper.
Freestyle rapper, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he got really big around COVID. And I've seen some cool clips of him doing it out in the wild, like just on the street, and it again like a really cool collaborative, inviting space to just make something together, make art together. It's so cool. I had somewhere I was gonna go with that, but yeah, I'll check them out. I thought I had heard of John Batiste before.
He's done a lot of stuff. There's a cool YouTube channel called Pianote, which if you've ever seen like Drumeo at all, it's like the same. You ever see Drumeo, that YouTube channel?
No.
It's a drummer. So Drumeo is a drumming channel. Pianote is a piano channel, music channel. But what they do that's interesting, I first saw it on Drumeo, is they'll get like famous drummers. Like I'm talking like the drummer for like Billy Joel and the drummer for like fucking, like Megadeth and shit like that.
Nice.
Like big, well-known drummers. And what they'll do is they'll it seems like they'll record like a long session with them and then cut it up into multiple videos. But my favorite types of videos they do with them is they will pick a song that drummer has never heard before, and the drummer has to come up with their own play, like their own drum pattern and beat and rhythm and everything.
Yeah.
They have to come up with their own drum sheet music, essentially.
I think I've seen the Megadeth episode of that.
And I believe the Megadeth drummer, he had never heard Mr. Brightside by the Killers.
Wow.
Which is like shocking.
I know.
But there's others that are really cool where it's like that you might like one drummer for the Mars Volta, I forget her name. She had never heard a Rush song. Like she knows who Rush is, but it was a more obscure Rush song, so she didn't know what it was.
Feels a bit egregious to be a drummer and not know Rush.
Well, she knows Rush, but she doesn't know that song.
Okay.
Type of thing, It's not like she heard Tom Sawyer and was like, "What the fuck's that?"
Yeah. Neil Peart.
It was
Neil Peart who?
But yeah, there's really cool ones. I'll have to look it up what it was. But anyway, so I bring that up because Piano does a similar thing, and it's a little bit more interesting in the sense that like in Piano they will play the song with the vocals and the drums, but not kind of like the melody, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like they take out like if it's like a rock song, right? They'll take out like the guitars, and maybe the bass too.
Right, because then you would know how to play the piano.
Yeah, you'd have an idea.
Yeah.
But they'll keep the vocals in, type of thing. So like there's some really cool ones. So they did. John Batiste was on it, and he played through. What is it? He's done a few really fun ones. John Batiste hears Beastie Boys for the first time.
Yo,
that's really fun. He also did. There was one that he did where it was what was it? I forget what some of them were. Screw you guys, I'm going home. Hey, howdy, hi.
Getting him. Well, fine, Parallax. We don't want you here anyway. Just kidding. Please don't leave.
I forget what some of the other ones were. There's some really good ones though that he had never heard before. He didn't hear like a Billie Eilish one before. That was fun. Not Billie Eilish. I'm sorry. It was Chapel Roan. It was John Batiste. Had never heard of Chapel Roan. This one Chapel Roan song before, and the last one was Green Day, Holiday.
Wow, that's such a popular song. Holy crap.
And he had never heard it before, and it's really fun to see what they come up with, because it's so like the drumming thing, it's like subtle differences. Like a lot of times it might be big, but it'll still sound pretty cool.
Yeah.
But like imagine having to take the Beastie Boys with all like their synths and record scratches and all that other shit, right?
Yeah.
Like all the crazy stuff that they do, and all you hear is the drum beat and the guitar. And all John Batiste has is a piano.
Yeah. They should have done the thing where
It's wild.
that they did on Dropout, where they had to improv a Beastie Boys song, but only just the background parts. So it's like, I forget who it was. One of the, so he's just going, alive, survive, going.
There's a
Knowing.
really great episode of on Make Some Noise from Dropout, where they brought on, they did musical improv, but they also, it was called like, what is it? It was like Dropout Karaoke or something like that. It was like a karaoke thing, but because they couldn't afford, obviously they can't afford the rights to any of the songs.
Yeah.
So what they would do, they would come up with a fictional song title, and they would have an artist. So like it might be like a fake song, and one of them was the Beastie Boys, for example. So it would be like a fake song title with a real artist, and they would have to improvise an entire song in the style of that artist
Oh, that's cool.
for this fake song that doesn't exist. And
No.
it's like Wayne Brady was on one. It was
Oh,
really good.
nice. I haven't seen that. But now I must know, Parallax, what do you mean updated version of Frontier Psychiatrist?
I have no idea what the fuck that means.
Oh.
That might as well be cowboy psychiatry to me.
So there's this group called the Avalanches. Imagine they're kind of like
Okay.
kind of like Nujabes.
I just looked them up. Single by the Avalanches.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like, it's kind of like Samurai Champloo, you know, the Nujabes, kind of very sample heavy, DJ scratchy.
Hold the phone.
What?
The genre of the song Frontier Psychiatrist is described as experimental hip hop. Okay, I can hear that. I get that. Trip hop. Okay. Plunderphonics. And turntablism.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know turntablism was a genre.
That I knew. I haven't heard of plunderphonics.
Plunderphonics is a music genre in which tracks are constructed by sampling recognizable musical works.
Yeah. So, Parallax, is this an updated version by the Avalanches? Like, did they just like re-sample and re-release it? Pop, funk, hip hop rock, sample core. Yeah. Frontier Psychiatrist is probably one of my favorite songs from that genre. It's just they just take a bunch of like old movie samples and weird sound effects, and they're kind of weird with it. Like there's like your Nujabes, which is like, yeah, just totally vibe out. Avalanches is like, if you listen to, this isn't the album that this is from, I don't think, but their one album, Since I Left You, is excellent, and it almost entirely, like every song flows into one another, and you can just like listen to it on loop. Very like trip hop is a good title for that. Just kind of trippy, chill beats with record scratching, and but yeah, they're like the Frontier Psychiatrist is probably like, if you were to look that up in a dictionary, that song would probably come up. But I've
never heard of it before.
It's good. It feels like something that would have been like, I don't know, it feels kind of Jet Set Radio-y. Like it feels kind of Hideki Naganuma. He's crazy in the coconut. What does that mean? That boy needs therapy. God, I'm gonna quote the whole freaking thing.
Is that from fucking Jet Set Radio?
No, it's from the song. It's from
okay.
It's Frontier Psychiatrist. That song would not hold up if released today. Really? Well, maybe I'll have to go back and give it another listen with eyes unclouded by 2025. Anyway, yeah, I'll definitely check that out. New version of a classic song. Super rad. We talked about jazz a second ago with John Batiste. I forget if I talked about this time. Polisa and I have been slowly going through the Halo games. It's not her forte, but she is enjoying them and having fun. Oh, I said her name and spoke the angel into existence. Ooh, don't you come on camera looking like that.
I'm looking like that.
Woo! Give everybody an eyeful. We all be blushing, and the camera's gonna fog up.
Don't know what you mean.
But we started.
I don't know what to make of any of that.
So we got. That's okay. About to about to give her the old mirror move, which is not the Pokemon move.
I mean, based off our conversation there, she wouldn't have a skull.
Well, she likes it rough.
Continue on.
Anyway, on to anything else. We
Anyway.
got up to. I made the executive decision to go Halo 1, 2, then ODST in between 2 and 3, because that's when it takes place chronologically, and not just go 1, 2, 3, and then 3 ODST as a side story. So we're taking a bit of a break between Master Chief games. We started ODST. Good God. I know I pretty much haven't shut up about this soundtrack since the game came out. Good God, that game soundtrack is so good. Like,
I haven't played it yet.
oh my God, I'm saying all this
it.
thinking that
I
you
own it.
had.
No.
So
I've played 1, 2, I've beaten 3 and 4. I've gotten far in Reach, never touched ODST, and I haven't touched 5 or whatever the newest one was. I forget what it was
Infinite.
called. Infinite, yeah.
That's so
And
surprising.
anything, it's funny because like I loved Halo 1 and 2. 3, everything 3 and on I have not been interested.
That's so wild to
No,
me.
sorry, I loved 4. I really liked 4.
Wow, that's one of my least favorites.
But it's also been a while since I've played it. So
Yeah.
I played it, I want to say back in like 2013, 2014 ish. So it's been like
Wow.
a decade since I last played it, and I really liked it then. But 3 I did not enjoy at all.
Wow, I think that's the best one. I'm so surprised.
I'm sure the story is really good. I think the missions are boring as shit. I think the
Wow.
mission structures are really not exciting at all.
Huh.
Reach, I think I was just hipsterish about, and I think that's why I was so kind of indifferent to it.
Hipster
well,
Josh
the reason was
appears
'cause
again.
I know he rears his ugly head. I read the book Reach, and everyone was talking about how great the story for Reach was. I'm like, did you read the goddamn book that came out like a decade, not that long ago, but like a couple years prior? Like, why is for some reason in my mind that like made the game worse, and not fair at all. Like, I
Yeah,
heard
because it doesn't
nothing
follow.
but good.
It's not designed to follow that book. Because that book,
Well,
Fall
no,
of Reach, is
I'm
about
not
Master
worried
Chief.
about it wasn't about the differences in it. I wasn't even being hipsterish about that. I was more just like, why is everyone so shocked about this story? They already did the story in a book. Like that was literally my only beef with it. I'm not saying it made sense or was fair. Yeah, that was literally it literally was, everyone was so hyped about the story, and I'm like, I've already read this story, so I'm not going to play it.
It's entirely different story. Like, you're getting.
No, it's not. It's the same ending.
Are you kidding me? Just because it's the same ending doesn't mean you're getting two completely different viewpoints of the same event. Actually, not even that, because most of the Fall of Reach book doesn't even take place during the Battle of Reach. It's Master Chief and all the other kids, the child soldier kidnapped kids, going through the Spartan program. And then Halo Reach is about the actual Battle of Reach, which isn't until the very
So the
end.
book's better. No, it's
I hate talking to Hipster Josh.
No. I just was fucking around with that one. But like, the point I was trying to make, I don't have any grudging against Reach now. There's no Hipster Josh coming out about that. It was literally at the time, Hipster Josh was just like, everyone's talking about how great the story is. I already know the story. For some reason, it was like I don't understand my own logic. I'll be honest. Like, I'm not trying to defend my logic from back then.
Yeah.
But it's just you're just taking a part of the book and turning it into the game, and that's fine. Like, I'm sure the game's really good, and it makes a lot more. It's funny because, especially stuff that I talk about and why I love games so much, Reach falls into exactly why I would love that. You're taking a section of a story and you're becoming part of it.
Yeah.
You are diving into that story, so it's a lot more impactful because you are playing through the events, and spoiler alert for Reach, watching the Spartans, your comrades, die, right? So it's just it doesn't make any sense. Why I genuinely don't understand why I was so against it. Like I'm not saying that the game is bad now. Like I haven't played it enough. When I did play of Reach, I liked. And Halo 3 was the only one from every time I try to play it, I just get bored with it.
Huh.
And it's not like I don't know what it is. I genuinely don't. It's not even like a hipster Josh thing. Like I genuinely don't know why I can't get into Halo 3. I've tried so many times and I just get bored with it. I for some reason the mission structure of Halo 3 I just don't find compelling at all.
I'll have to do a deep dive through my mental Rolodex of my memories of Halo mission structures, and because I don't remember them being all that different from the first two.
It might not be. I don't know what it is. Like just
Sometimes
Halo
it's
3
just
for
mechanics. Like I don't like the way that Halo 2 plays. I think it feels too stiff.
Really?
Yeah,
I love Halo 2.
2 has like one of the best stories. Introduces a lot of really cool things that I do like. It's just one of my least favorite to actually physically play. It just feels stiff at times and weirdly floaty at times. Yeah, I like the physics engine more of 1 and 3.
I'll have to go back and try 3 again. Like it's one of those things where it's like I feel like at some point it's just gonna, because also maybe like I haven't completed, because like there's some games that you'll like, but in that specific time and place you're just not in the right headspace to enjoy it. So like the game either wears out its welcome or it bores you or this or that. Like there's been a lot of games I've played once and it didn't click with me, and then I would come back later. I'm like, oh, this game fucking rules.
Yeah, that was me with Mass Effect. It took me like 3, maybe even 4 times to get into the first Mass Effect, because I kept being like, I love everything about this except playing it. And that's the one thing like you have to have. Like
that's I will always die on the hill that gameplay matters more than story.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, story is incredibly important,
Sure.
depending on the type of experience you're going to get. But I have a buddy who's always like, no, story is the most important thing in a game.
Nope.
I'm like, no. The core element of a video game is the gameplay.
Yeah. That's why
I'm not saying you can't like story more. You can have a personal preference that I prefer a good story over good gameplay, but that doesn't make the game good. Like it you have to have at least solid enough gameplay to make it passable.
Yeah, that's why most of the Kingdom Hearts games, I just watched all the cutscenes on YouTube, because I was like, a lot of them play like shit.
I disagree. I say I love the first 2 Kingdom Hearts games.
Yeah, the first 2 Kingdom Hearts games are great, and they play pretty well. First one, a bit rough around the edges, hard to go back to, especially
I also
after
really
2.
like Birth by Sleep a lot.
That's the best one. I'm talking like 365 over 2 days, or 358 over 2 days, like all the weird.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
All the other 17, like the numbered ones are all great. The numbered ones, and I will still die on the hill that Birth by Sleep is the best one. The side
I think
ones,
most fans would agree.
Yeah, I hope so. That was my favorite anyway. And even hotter take, Terra, Ven, and Aqua are more interesting and compelling characters than Sora, Riku, and whatever the hell her name is.
Yes,
Kairi.
Absolutely. I also think Sora was created in a time when it was like the silent protagonist was more king, So I feel like
Sora never shuts up.
Well, but Sora doesn't. In the first game, Sora I don't think has much of a personality in the first game.
Yeah, he's just.
I think that's intentional.
I'm plucky.
I think that's intentional to write for the player to like write themselves into the character type of thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would agree that he falls into that trope, because I'm thinking of like Cloud.
He's not a silent protagonist, but I'm saying like at the time that was a popular trope, and the point of that trope is for the player to put themselves into the character,
project yourself.
And I feel like they tried to do a version of that, of like a talking silent protagonist, if that makes sense, or sorry, not a talking silent protagonist, but a protagonist who doesn't have a lot of character, a lot of strong personality traits, because Sora doesn't. He's a dude who just wants to have a heart.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Light, heart, Kairi, deep freeze. Anyway.
What the hell? What's it? Why I can't think of the name. Who's
Haley Joel Osment?
Thank you. Oh, Haley Joel.
Haley Joel. What a guy. He shows up in The Boys sometimes, and every now and then he'll slip into the the Sora voice. It's funny.
Oh, really? That's funny.
Anyway, so we started playing ODST, which, God, that game is so good. Although
I
knowing
need to try it.
what I know about you not liking 3, it's built on the 3 engine, so. But the
it's a
mission
different
structure
game.
is totally different.
The engine doesn't matter about it. Like I like the mechanics of Halo 3 for the most part. I remember my biggest beef with Halo 3 at the time. I wish I'll have to replay Halo 3 to tell you like what specifically about the missions don't enthrall me. This is just from memory from a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
The other thing I actually was not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of the color palette of 3.
I really like it.
I everything feels a little bit too muted, and I remember playing multiplayer. It was hard to see players against the backdrop, even if they weren't wearing like camo. If they were wearing like something camo or something to blend in, fine. But like, it was always so like, it felt almost like everything was like there was a slightly muted color palette in it. You know, like there's just a little like a tinge of like gray added to every color, not necessarily in like a bad way. It still looks good. It just it was hard. It made it less visually appealing for me. But also,
interesting.
Once again, it's been a minute since I've played it. I will have to replay it at some point, or I'll have to actually play through. Yeah, replay it. I did beat it once.
Okay. Yeah.
But I just remember every time I've tried to play it, it just has always felt like a chore. I'm curious. Like I feel like ODST is enough of a difference in terms of how it's being.
It's so
approached.
different.
Yeah, so I'm not worried about the mechanics. I can get over the graphics. Like Hipster Josh back then was like angry about the graphics. Now I'm just kind of like, it's just not my favorite. But once again, it's from memory. Who knows?
Yeah, I think I don't know. I know it's been a minute, but I felt like Reach was a little bit muted, and I thought 3 was actually very vibrant. 3 reminded me a lot of 1, which is a lot of why 1 and 3 are my favorites. Is I just love looking at them. 2 I felt like was a little too
long
dark.
Play of Halo 3 while we're talking.
Nice. So ODST, since you don't know, like it's you as you
I know
probably,
what it's about. I understand you play as a soldier, like a basic soldier, but I don't know the story or anything else with it.
Well, so the ODSTs
You play as one of the Marines.
So the ODSTs are like the super special ops. Like they're like the best of the best of the best, sir. Men in Black. And they're like the I don't know, maybe the something in between the regular soldiers and Spartans. They're not augmented, but they are like incredibly good. So it still makes sense as to why they can do some of the things they do, but you are not the super soldier. You can't dual wield. You have to be more tactical, and it's a lot more human of a story. So you play as like a truly silent protagonist. You play as this character called the Rookie. He's the new guy on the squad. The rest of the team, it's basically Firefly, now that I'm thinking about it, because 3 of the members of the team are voiced and played by Nathan Fillion, Adam Baldwin, and and I even think Wash is in it. Why can't I remember his name right now?
Alan Tudyk.
Alan Tudyk, thank you. Firefly mentioned.
Remember, he has 2 dicks.
Alan Tudyk.
Alan 2 dicks. He doesn't have 3. He doesn't have 4 dicks. He's Alan
just
2 dicks.
2. What are you looking at? It's only 2.
Just like everybody else. Why are you staring?
Yeah. It's just my normal 2 dicks. I think, actually, I don't think Alan Tudyk. I think Alan Tudyk plays a Marine in that one. But 2 of your main squad, including your captain, is literally Nathan Fillion and Adam Baldwin playing basically Mal and Jane. But you go, so it takes place during the mission of Halo 2 where the Covenant dropship, or the Covenant like flagship, which is in the city in New Mombasa in Africa, jumps into slip space and then which freaking blows up the whole city. So you're dropping from the planet like Helldivers, or I should say Helldivers does it like ODST, which does it like Aliens during this explosion. So you all get knocked off and scattered and spread throughout the city. So you come out of your pod at night It's raining. It's quiet. Everything's been destroyed. You're trying to find your team. It's like open world almost. Like in these parts of the game, the music is jazzy and slow and moody, and you're just looking at like just destroyed buildings. You're finding these really cool audio logs of kind of video, kind of audio logs of this girl Sadie, who was trying to get out of the city too. You're piecing together this really cool story while you're trying to find your squad mates. You're getting into little scuffles with little roaming bands of Covenant who are just looking for stragglers. Like a dropship will suddenly fly overhead and you gotta hide, or else they'll drop more enemies for you to fight. It's kind of stealthy, and it's so moody, and I love it so much.
You're honestly convincing me to check it out.
I forgot how good it was. Like I haven't played this game like probably since it came out. Like obviously every time a new Halo would come out, I would obsess over it. Not so much anymore, like since they're kind of mid.
Meh.
But then what's cool is, because I imagine people, if that's all it was, people would be like, oh, this is stupid. Like, what is this? Halo's not supposed to be a stealth game. Okay, it's not. You'll come across like one of your squad mates like helmets or something. Like the first one you find is like your commanding officer's helmet, like that had smashed through a window and is like embedded in this big TV monitor. And he picks it up and he looks at it and he like runs his hand down like the crack in the helmet and he's looking at it, and then it flashes back to when that happened during the day in the battle, and then you get to play that mission as that character, like as your other squad mate. And then that's more of like your traditional daytime big war Halo battles. And then you'll see what happens. Something exploded and sent the helmet flying through the window, and then it'll flash back again to you present time, and then you go find the next clue about where your squad is. So it goes back and forth from these really chill, moody, jazzy, rainy, almost detective-y kind of missions to then your traditional Halo missions. Back, you go back to the Halo stuff, and it's awesome. Like, it may have jumped up a couple of ranks in my Halo ranking. Maybe I need to play Reach again, but it's fighting Reach right now for third place. So
I am intrigued based off what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Side note, I did also look up. I'm watching a long play of Halo 3, and while I made sure to find the 360 version of it as well, because I didn't want an HD upscale or anything like that, in case it changed anything. It still looks good. It is pretty vibrant in terms of colors. Granted, I'm on like the mission I'm watching is like in a jungle right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think from what I remember, and mind you, this is also Hipster Josh back when it came out being cranky about probably that I didn't have a 360. I'll be honest. Probably that, but
we're piecing together the story of Hipster Josh's origins.
Everyone has hipster moments.
Sure.
Let's be honest.
I talked about mine.
I'm just brave enough to call out my bullshit. No, like that's a big thing. But so honestly, the only criticism I have of it now, and it's very mild, like this would not ruin my experience by any stretch. You ever like want to just you have a picture and you just want to brighten it, so you up the brightness filter so it almost looks like they just took like a white box, or like took like if you have a picture in like Photoshop or some shit and you paint white over the whole thing and then you lower the opacity a little bit just to like bright, or if you just turn up the brightness on it. That's what Halo 3 looks like. It looks like there was like a white film over it by like a 5 to 10% opacity, like super low.
There is a lot of like bloom.
Yes, and I don't like that per se. It makes everything. I think that's where the muted look comes from for me. I think if they didn't have that, the colors would be a little bit more vibrant. It still looks good. That's the thing. Like, it still looks really good. I watching it now, and I'm remembering like all the colors for the most part feel just a little bit more muted, and it's not as much as I remember in my head, which is why I'm glad I watched, because like I said, it's been a while since I've played it. So I'll have to play through again and see, like, does it, like, do I still feel the same way, or is it just something like, did I Halo myself out type of thing? Like,
That's fair.
like I was rewatching. I think we talked about it last week. I was rewatching The Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
and I finally finished Fellowship of the Ring after like watching it in like small chunks, and it's still enjoyable. Like, but it still very much feels like, man, yeah, I remember why I stopped watching these, just because it, like, something that felt weird about it too. The story felt bizarrely disjointed, even though I knew what was happening.
Huh.
Like, it feels like there is so much going on with very little explanation. And like, I'm not saying give tons of monologues and dialogues and of background information that'll bog the viewer down too. But like, it it feels like there's just that it just jumps so quickly from scene to scene to scene, and it like, watching it, I didn't, when I first watched it, I remember feeling like, wow, Middle Earth is real, and now I watch it and I'm like, oh, this just looks like 5 different forests from different continents, and and I that's not, the movie's still great. The acting is phenomenal. I genuinely got emotional when Sam came onto Frodo's boat. I literally finished it this afternoon, and I actually cried a little bit, because I was like, that's like that beautiful thing of like these two best friends, like, just Sam specifically, man, just like so willing
He's the best
to die for his friend. Like, he's such a loyal, compassionate person, character, and I love that. So it's still great, but I just remember watching it, I'm like, this just feels very disjointed to me now. I can see it's funny, because while I still like it for the most part, a lot of the times when I would see criticisms of it, I now see where those criticisms are coming from, where it's like, it just, like, all of it feels like, okay, this is happening now, okay, I guess we're going here. I don't understand why, but we're going here. There's so many lines in that movie that are spoken under the character's breath that it's like hard to understand. Like, when Gandalf supposedly dies or whatever, he says, "Fly, you fools." But every time I heard it, I just hear and it's so hard to understand what he's saying. And there's so many other moments like that too. There's so many moments where I'm like, I had to put subtitles on. I'm like, I don't understand what the fuck you're saying, because you're either whispering it or it's like so muddled. So it was interesting, because I still enjoyed it. Happy I rewatched it. I'll probably watch The Two Towers at some point, but it still very much reminded me of like, oh yeah, I watched this too much as a kid, and now it's hard for me to watch again. And I think, to bring it back to Halo, because I went on that little tangent there, Halo I played so much as a kid. And I think by the time Halo 3 came around, and it felt so different to 2, and I was just like, it felt so foreign to me. And when I played Halo 1 and switched and went to Halo 2, I felt like I was okay at Halo 1, and I got better, and then I got good at Halo 2 as well. When I switched from Halo 2 to 3, it felt like my skills started over all of a sudden. So part of that, Hipster Josh, was also from being bad at the multiplayer. But I don't know, the multiplayer just didn't do it for me, man. I remember just not really liking Halo 3 multiplayer. I need to really honestly try it, though. I don't think I tried it enough.
That was my favorite multiplayer. I played that the most in multiplayer.
No, I still stand by this. I don't like the shield grenades.
Oh, I love the bubble
I don't know
shields.
I don't like the shield draining, the bubble shields. I understand why they added it, and it's one of those things where I look at it, I'm like, that's a really good addition. That was a smart fucking addition. I don't know why I don't like it. I genuinely don't. I can't tell you. Like, I look at it and I can even take my preferences out of it. I'm like, that's a really good idea. That's a really smart, interesting way to change up the gameplay. Why don't I like this? And I still don't know.
Those who are resistant to change are doomed to fail. To quote Hot Rod. One of the coolest... I'm going to... if I start talking about how wild your takes of Lord of the Rings are. Uh,
What? I don't think they're that wild.
I do think some of the dialogue gets a little bit quiet. It is a bit difficult to hear, especially when like Arwen and Aragorn are talking.
I don't think it ruins the movie for me.
No.
I just think it makes it harder. I think it makes the transition from scene to scene less smooth. I think the transitions from different story elements feel very kind of like I don't how can I describe it? I feel like the transition from scene to scene I understand where they're going and why they're going, I should say, but the scene to scene thing it just doesn't feel like it makes it feel disjointed, I guess. I don't know. Maybe part of that is because like I know where they filmed it now, so it kind of the movie magic is gone. So I don't know. I don't know where it is, but I don't think my takes were that crazy. I still think the movies are good.
Okay, I thought you were saying that you didn't like them anymore because you watched them too much. Which that
Well,
aspect of it,
I don't enjoy them anymore because of that, but that's not because the movies are bad. It's just because it's like
okay.
you've seen something too many times. It's not exciting anymore. If that makes sense.
That's fair, and I would say that's
the point I
super
was trying
valid.
to make.
Okay, now that I understand that, because I was gonna say I don't know of another movie that old that has held up as well as those three movies. Like, God,
I will say the thing that breaks my heart is I can see the seams of the CG now that I couldn't before when I was younger.
yeah. Oh wait,
And
how are you watching them? Like, what format?
streaming, but so it might be compressed in a weird way too.
Okay. Do you know I don't know what's available on stream now, but I have the 4K like Blu-ray where they actually went in and like took the film masters and like properly remastered it in 4K. It's not an upscale. It's like, and they actually touch up some of the CG, and they're like they make it. It looks like it came out 5 years ago instead of 20 years ago. It's incredible.
I might try to find like a DVD of it and watch it on like a tube TV. I'm serious because that's how I watched most of it. Because I feel like if you're not going to be able to watch it in the beautiful cinema the way it was meant to be, you watch. Maybe the 4K would be the next closest thing. I don't know, but watching it at least like on like the version of my friend's streaming service, there was very much like still just amazing like practical effects, like absolutely amazing. Some of them felt a little bit very, and I wonder if it's the compression too. That could be that is a thing, like. But like specifically, I noticed it when they're leaving the forest, with the second not after they go to Rivendell for the Council of Elrond or whatever, and then they go to that second forest with the elves. I forgot the name of them, and they give them the boats and they sail out from there, right? The paddles of the boats going in the water, there's a close-up shot of it, and it very much felt like those paddles were like made out of plastic instead of like wood or something.
Okay.
And I was like, it didn't ruin it for me. I don't think I'm not like, how could you do this? It's not a bad thing. It just kind of, I guess I'm making a bad thing, but like I'm not saying it like takes away from the movie that much. It's just more just like I just like, oh, that's kind of weird. That looks like a prop and not something that's authentic. Versus, I remember when I first watched it, everything just looked authentic. Everything looked real to me.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's because now I'm so used to newer CG or if it's the compression. Could be a combination of the two.
Yeah, I don't know, because I look at like, and this was very well received. The live action One Piece on Netflix was very well received. I think it's as good of an adaptation as you could do for something that, honestly, in my opinion, should not have been adapted to live action. But they do as good of a job as I think you possibly could. However, everything, like the costumes and the weapons and stuff, everything looks like props. So
I hate that.
That's the stuff that bugs me. So, but then when I watched Lord of the Rings, which we did, we watched them in November, so less than a year ago, and we were both blown away, like at how weathered everything looks and how real and grounded everything feels.
I wonder if it was then like because I watched it on my friend's Plex, which means that is a totally legal copy that they downloaded and then is streamed from their server over the internet, right? So like there's going to be layers of degradation with that, because when they're sailing down the boat and those two giant statues of old kings towards the end of the first movie, that still looked fucking amazing.
Nice.
Like, in a weird sense, I could not tell if that was like a foreground miniature or if it was like CG, but it looked good.
Yeah. I
And
love when
the Orcai like makeup art is stunning. All the orc stuff looks stunning.
Oh, the prosthetics, the gross teeth and stuff.
Something I even remember as a kid when I watched it, and it's still like I'm not blaming the movie for this. I don't know how you would actually do this when they go to the to Moria, and the Dwarven mine, and they're in the city of Moria.
Yeah.
And that was always such a weird design choice for me, the way they did it. Like, I love the giant architecture. It's very stunning. The music, the soundtrack is goddamn. It's so good. But like, it was so confusing to me. Like, this is like the city, and I'm like, there's nothing here. It is a giant cavernous room that is beautiful to look at. What do you mean this is a city? Like, are there and all I can see is like 2 fucking doors in this place. So are you telling me this is a city with 2 doors? Like, I think the design of it was just, I don't know if it was a budgetary thing or like what, but it felt weird to me. I'm like, I understand this place is deserted, but like, you should see remnants of shops or houses, or even if the houses are built into the walls as stone or something like that.
Yeah.
Show me something. Like, I don't need to see inside the houses. Just show me doors and windows or something. It is just this cavernous hall. I'm like, what is this? Just a place for dwarves to stand around and shoot the shit? Like, I don't know. Like,
I always wondered that too. Like, what was the purpose of that big ass room? Like, was it like, I feel like it should have looked like Goron City down in there with stuff, like you said, carved into the walls, and like, are there no statues? Where's all the, and we see a lot more of that in like the Hobbit franchise, which is one of the only things I'll give to that movie is that it's still, effects and stuff, and
they used too many special effects in that, right? There was too much CG in there.
Too much CG, yeah. It's too much green screen and stuff. But anyway, yeah,
you got to do a mixture of practical and, like, the thing is, like, I do think I was watching and I'm like, the practical and CG mixture is really good in this. I'm noticing specifically when Sauron's I forget the name of the land that he runs.
Isengard,
because
they're taking the hobbits there.
Taking the hobbits to Isengard. Specifically when, like, you see like big crane shots of Isengard, all of that looked very CG. Like, the tower looked kind of wonky. The mines and stuff, like all the fissures in the earth, looked very, very CG.
Okay.
I do think when the camera pans into it, I think it's a lot of composited shots, which I think the compression of the streaming video does not do it justice.
I can see that.
Because composited shots are also a little kind of like weird usually, like even when you don't have like weird compression issues.
Yeah. There's one shot.
You combine the weirdness with compression issues. It looked a little funny to me, but
yeah,
could have just been that. So
there's one shot. This might be in the Two Towers, but there's one scene that will always, 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 forever take me out of it, and I just wish they had just cut this scene out because it's so unnecessary and they don't even need it. It doesn't really do anything except trying to make somebody look cool. The scene where Legolas's horse comes like running up behind him in slow motion, and then he like wraps his arm around the front of the horse and then kind of jumps and flips up onto the horse, and it's just like, it looks like the shot was in reverse, like his hair doesn't move right and his clothes don't like flap right in the wind. And it's like, this looks,
keep an eye out for that.
It looks so bizarre. That's the only thing that really I can think of. Anyway,
we got lost in the weeds. I enjoyed it, and I think the reason there's even a hipster Josh about it is a combination of watching it too much as a kid, and then the amount of times I see friends and people just be like, "No, it sounds great." Watching all 3 Lord of the Rings extended edition, I'll just sit at home and do that for like 10 hours. I'm like,
no.
Jesus Christ, these movies are like, I would be so bored doing that.
The third
couldn't-
one
I
is,
could not do that.
or maybe it's one of the Hobbits, is almost 5 hours long. I think the extended one.
Jesus
That's
Christ, that is unnecessary.
absurd. I will never. I
Like-
love those movies. I will probably always love them. I will never sit down and watch all 3 of them extended edition. Like, you need like
That's
14
so-
hours
it's
to
so
do
much.
that. Like,
It's crazy, and like I understand if you like, and the thing is that I think it's just one of those things where I understand why it's so revered, and just from like everything, like between the books and like the way it was filmed and the filming, it's honestly a crazy accomplishment. They did what they did in 2001, right? Like it's absolutely insane.
yeah.
I think it's just now it's gotten to the point for me where it's like I hear so much praise about it where I'm just like I'm so neutral in it. I'm just like I don't get the actually, that's not even true. I get the praise. I don't know. I think it's just hipster Josh at times. Right now it's not hipster Josh, but there are hipster Josh moments at the time and I'm just like, we get it. You like Lord of the Rings. I think that's really what it comes down to.
Well, to bring it back to what I was talking about, what I do, what I do relate with entirely is I played this too much. I watched this too much, and that was kind of Halo
Yeah.
2 for me.
That's totally fair.
I played Halo 1 to death and back every day, so much that I would dream that I was playing Halo. Not dream that I was Master Chief running around killing aliens. I would dream that I, Andrew, was sitting in front of the TV and playing Halo. But I was like first person. I had the heads up display and everything, and the physics engine of my brain was the same as Halo 1. Like that's how much that I played that game. I got really good at it. Not to toot my own horn, but the neighborhood kids wouldn't want to play with me because I was too good with the sniper rifle. Halo 2 came out and somehow got so even bigger. I remember going to 16-player LAN parties, which was still one of the coolest things I've ever done. But that's all that anyone ever wanted to do was play that one. And I was like, this feels stiff and different, and it doesn't play as to what I'm used to. So I wasn't as good at it. I eventually did because I got better at it because... But I feel like I was kind of forced to. And I played so much Halo 2 multiplayer that I like started to not like that game. And then maybe that was also why it's probably why I don't like Halo 2 as much, and probably also why I liked 3 so much, because I came from such a low point to like, oh my god, 3 is like the closest that we've ever been to 1 again. Like there's a lot of parallel between those two. So I understand the feeling of like, I played this too much. I don't like playing this anymore. That's all anyone wants to talk about. So,
and in all honesty, that's exactly your experience with 2 was mine with 3, like to a T, where it was like everyone wants to play 3. I don't want to play 3. It doesn't feel right to me compared to what 2 was.
That's so
because
funny.
I was used to 2. Now, with that said, 2 had much more severe auto aim, so that's probably why it was a little bit easier to do sniping stuff in 2.
It's like sticky.
It is a little bit like I noticed it. It's funny, after not playing it for years, I went back and I played like I was dicking around with a friend in it, just like trying to do super jumps and stuff like that.
Oh
super
my god,
bounces.
yeah.
And I remember just I told him to run in front of me. I didn't shoot him or anything. I wasn't going to be an asshole, but I was like just following it. Every time he turned, my character would turn with him. I'm like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! Like like the auto aim in that is severe. It's crazy.
So sticky. Like I remember having, because we played it earlier this year. We played 2, and I remember having so much trouble. I had to like crank up my sensitivity because I would be like aiming at an enemy, and then like a little grunt or something, and then a brute would be charging at me, and I'd have to like change targets, and it was like it didn't want to. Like I'd be trying to turn away from the grunt to attack the like higher threat target, and I would be like trying, and like it would be like stuck on the grunt, and I'm like just trying to move the cursor, which you can mess with the settings and stuff to get it to be less like that, but that is a big reason why that game feels so stiff to me, is like the ridiculous auto aim and the physics engine I just don't like as much.
It's a weird physics engine in that game. Like, I'm not going to deny it.
Yeah.
Halo 2 was just... Halo 2 to me is the blossoming of what Halo multiplayer became.
Oh, totally.
Halo 1 multiplayer was great. Halo 2 introduced so many different game types with the custom game matches and everything like that.
It was
Also,
legendary.
Shout out
No
to
pun
like
intended.
physical DLC with the multiplayer pack.
Yeah. Oh my
Do you
god.
remember- you
You had to buy the disc.
Buy a fucking disc. I have it. It's in my collection.
Yes. Yeah, I do still respect the hell out of Halo 2 multiplayer. It's so much so that I was excited that when the Halo Infinite, like after 4 and 5 multiplayer was just kind of like Halo Infinite's multiplayer, they specifically said they're like, we're going to make the single player feel like 1, we're going to make the multiplayer feel like 2 and 3. And I was like, say less. And they did, and it's so much fun.
I need to play Infinite. Infinite looked like a return to form for damn sure.
Yes, but it's evident when you play the single player that there was a lot more that they wanted to do and didn't. And I personally didn't really love the kind of like Far Cry style open world going from base to base. I liked how intentional the level design was of the Bungie era, and you don't get that in this. And it's fun. I had a lot of fun with it. Graphics are great. Obviously, performances are great. Grappling hook is awesome. Having a grappling hook is super sick. Multiplayer is so much fun. I think it's pretty solid. It's the best that Halo has been since Reach, in my opinion. And I'm excited to see where they go next. Completely new studio. They've rebranded 343 to Halo Studios. And it sounds like they're doing a remake of 1. So,
now, question. We were originally going to talk about Boku no Natsu Yasumi 2
yep.
tonight.
And we're about 2 hours in.
Do you still want to?
I think we should probably put it off. I've got a couple more things to talk about still that are more timely. And I feel like even though we are not aiming to talk a super long time about Boku because we're doing a full episode for your podcast, I still feel like we will. So I will need more time than we have.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. Plus, I'm enjoying this conversation about these very nostalgic things.
About Hipster Josh.
Hipster Josh and I have have a lot of strife, I will say.
Cloud Strife?
Where was I going? Oh, so Felicia and I have been playing Halo ODST. And she loves to bring it back to this from about an hour ago. This is her favorite. This is by far her favorite. She loves it. She loves the storytelling style. We also watched Firefly not too long ago, which she also loved. Firefly mentioned again, Parallax. We've not watched Serenity yet, so nobody say shit. So I have to figure out when to destroy her with that. Yeah, and they take a lot of the energy of this squad from ODST into Reach, which is part of why I love that single player too. The Noble Six squad is awesome in that. And also the storyline of, like I said, that girl Sadie and following her story and how it ends up looping into the main story is great. And I really hope you play it, and I really hope you enjoy it. Parallax Firefly is life. It is. Oh, actually, great segue into my next thing. I was going to do all the game stuff together, but I have to talk about something that I watched that, Parallax, I know you'll appreciate. I have I've committed a great sin in my life. And as somebody whose favorite piece of media in the world is Beast Wars by Mainframe Entertainment, I never really liked Reboot as a kid.
I never watched any of them.
So one of these days I'll have to show you Beast Wars. I feel like I'd have to fight Hipster Josh a little bit on the visuals of it because it is very dated.
I watched a little bit of Beast Wars, I should say, but I never got into it per se. My neighbor down the street loved Beast Wars and had a ton of toys, and I kind of liked it by proxy, and I liked what I watched of it.
Yeah.
can forgive hipster Josh only becomes hipster Josh when there's misled expectations. I know exactly what that show looks like,
Okay.
and I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
It's old CG. It'd be hipster Josh would be like if someone promised me a great cartoon and then showed me the Donkey Kong Country CG cartoon. And then I would be like, well, what the fuck? Now it's my job to destroy this. That's where hipster Josh comes in. It's where expectations get set at a certain level,
Oh man.
and set too high.
You
and
don't
then
like I'd shower you with coconut cream pie.
I don't even remember that. It's been so long. The other time, the other way hipster Josh rears his ugly head is when people will praise something and then I'll play it and it's just like my Dark Souls stuff, right? I'm not nearly as hipsterish about it as I used to be, but like I would get really worked up about Dark Souls because I think mainly not because of its fans, but because, well, actually yes, because of its fans, but the sane fans no, the crazy fans, the get good ones, yes, where it's like this fucking badge of honor that they play through a game that is deliberately like not fair. I don't know, it's weird to me. Actually, no, sorry, that game is very fair. That's a different argument. I'm not going to go into hipster Josh's arguments about Dark Souls, but like that's
do that a
where
lot.
it comes from. It's where it's like an expectation is set, and then I experience it, and I'm like, I don't. If I can't see why someone likes something, that's really where it comes out. So I mean, with Lord of the Rings, you heard me criticizing, but I never really went like full hipster on it, right? Like I never really went around to trying to destroy it. I was just saying, okay, these are the reasons it's just not my favorite anymore for A, B, and C reasons. But I can look at it and be like, I totally get why people like this. There are certain things that'll come across where it's like someone will say this is great, and then I just don't understand why so many people find it great. I can't put myself in that mindset, and it gets me upset, it gets me angry.
And that's
So
the
then
part where it's like it's okay to be like there's plenty of things where I'm like I don't see why people like this isn't for me.
Yeah.
But it doesn't like make me angry that people like something
No,
I don't like something that people like.
Well, no, it's not that. There's a difference though. I can look at something and see it's not for me, but understand why other people like it. But then there's other things, very few, mind you. There's other things where it's like I can play something, people will tell me why they like it, and then I'm still baffled by their decision making for it. And that's when hipster Josh comes out, and I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's like a thing where it's like I feel the need to be right, even though I'm not, because it's a matter of like personal preference. Like there's no right or wrong; it's just what you like. And so I don't know. I don't entirely understand it, but I do my best to keep it in check. I feel.
Parallax is saying what I've been saying. If you can look past the CGI, there's so much personality, reality, and respect. This isn't your daddy's Transformers. And yeah, I grew up with it, so there's a lot of the CGI that I don't have to necessarily look past, but anyone watching it who didn't, like, yeah, you're kind of going to have to. Their other magnum opus, Reboot, came out before. You still also have to remember, anyone getting caught up on the CGI of Reboot or Transformers, this was the first and second time, respectively, that there was a CGI television show at all, like a fully CGI production of any kind. And they pioneered it. And they, looking at the first season of Beast Wars to the second season, when they start playing around with depth of field and really doing some cool stuff with the camera, it's astounding. All that being said, I should have. It's rough for sure, but damn, these shows are amazing. I know. Beast Wars is nearly perfect. I think the season 3 starts to fall apart a little bit, the last season, but 1 and 2 is just some of the best television. Like the writing. I showed Polisa, who she's not really into Transformers. Didn't grow up with it. Her only understanding of like mainframe animation was the Barbie movies, which Princess and the Pauper slaps. Not gonna lie, she showed me that, and I was like, wait, this is mainframe. And then Gary Chalk and Ian Corlett showed up in it, and I'm like, this is definitely mainframe. But she was like, this show is incredible. Like, we laughed, we cried, like, we still talk about it. That being said, Beast Wars is a large chunk of my personality. So you would think that in the 37 years I've been alive, almost 37, that I would have gone back at some point and watched Reboot. I never really have. I watched it on and off when it was on TV in the 90s. It was only just because I wanted to watch Beast Wars, and I was like, okay, I'll wait for this whatever other show to end so that I can watch the show that I want to watch. Rhinox was the
That's how I got
shit.
into DBZ.
You are so right, Parallax. Rhinox also favorite character of the show. That's so funny. I watched a bunch of other shows on and off as well because I was waiting for TBC. But yeah, with Reboot, I was just like, I don't know. I couldn't really find myself getting into it. I tried one more time in my early 20s, and I went back and I watched the first couple, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll watch this. Never really got around to it. I have decided for the royalty. Dude, are your two favorite characters from each faction Rhinox and Inferno? Because those are mine. Dude, what the hell? I forget if we talked about that before. I'll save the fanboying for the episode because I am going to do a Beast Wars experience share. Somebody's going to listen to me talk about Beast Wars if it kills me. Dude, that's so funny. What the actual heck? I know. Anyway, I've committed. There's a 4K upscale on YouTube of Reboot, and I'm doing it. I'm watching it. Police and I are watching it because I showed her the first episode. I was like, how do you feel? Do you want to? She's like, I really liked it. I want to keep watching it with you. So we're watching Reboot together. Weirdly, in a way, the janky ass early 90s CGI makes it more easily watchable because it takes place inside a computer. They're all computer programs. And so it's like, yeah, this is how I imagined a 90s computer would look on the inside because everything looks like a screensaver. Like those trippy ass, like, vaporwave, Fruited Your Arrow almost era graphics and stuff. And it's like, the dialogue is so corny, but in a really endearing way. Because they'll be like, well, like a kid, like the kid character will be like, oh no, like he'll get into some trouble of some kind, and he's like, yeah, oh no, I'm sorry, I should have copied and pasted you the truth from the start. And it's like, or like, oh, just wait right here for a nanosecond, or like, you know, what's your disconnection?
There's only 47 episodes of this.
Yeah, I think that's just a little bit less than Beast Wars. I think Beast Wars is like 50.
For some reason, I always thought it was like longer.
Yeah, that was
it was going on from 94 to 2001, so you'd assume like there's 4 seasons though.
Okay.
With like 13-ish episodes.
Yeah, they're
apiece.
about 13.
Yeah, 10 on the second season.
Yeah. It's kind of like Tron if it came out in the 90s. Because there's also this like whole aspect of like the game. Oh, God damn it, the game. In real life, the character who owns this computer, who they just call the user, will boot up a game. And this is 1994, mind you. Something called a GameCube comes out. Like there's an actual like purple cube, and it's purple too. It comes out, and it's called the GameCube. 7 years before the purple GameCube really came out, and it like absorbs the whole computer, and then it transforms them into like we've seen like a racing game. There's like a spaceship like dogfighting game, a prison escape game, and it's cool to see like how they. And then of course, you know, the evil villain guy is called Megabyte, and he is voiced by the guy who voices Frollo, the villain from Hunchback of Notre Dame. So he's great, and of course his register is way down here, and he's saying, "I will destroy you." And he's basically just Tony J. He's the Megatron of this. The game box coming down from the friggin' sky, such an endorphin rush. Yeah, it'll be like, incoming game. And then all of a sudden it's just like purple everything, and then they're playing freaking Space Invaders. But I don't know if it's like the Matrix, and if it's like you die in the game, you die in real life. I don't know. I'm only like 6 or 7 episodes in, but it is delightfully corny, delightfully retro-y vaporwave. It's a cool aesthetic to look back on, jank and all, and I'm excited to actually finish it and not be a fake mainframe fan.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to. I've always my brother likes that show a lot. I remember. I didn't really watch. I don't know why. Was it on like Kids WB or some shit?
Yeah, I mean, they were all. It was UPN for me when I was a kid, but I think I think they put it on Kids WB, and then, I think it moved another time. Fox Kids. It was on Fox Kids, I think. But yeah, love that. Sticking with the 1994, this would be really quick. Police has showed me. She was like, "Well, if we're watching stuff, our favorite stuff from 1994," she showed me the movie The Swan Princess. It's like the not Disney.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen
never
that?
watched it, but no.
Okay.
But I know it.
I hadn't either.
I might have watched it once.
It was surprisingly subversive. Like in that era, like the 90s, like the prince and princess movies were all so like, wow, you're beautiful, I love you, let's get married. And she's like, oh my god, yes, absolutely, gotta fight a dragon first. And it has all of those things, don't get me wrong, with a really cool like kind of Don Bluth style animation, but it's really subversive in that the princess is like, he's like, you're beautiful, and she's like, and what else? And he's like, well, what else is there? And she's like, fuck off, bro. And then she literally like leaves him. And it's like, that's the start of the movie. And it's like, this is, for the time, surprisingly, subversive, and brings up the things of like, yeah, it shouldn't be like that. You shouldn't just meet somebody that you find hot and be like, oh my god, we should get married. And then there's the political implications of like joining the kingdoms together. There's the whole like the prince character kind of is this little shit. He's kind of a dick through the whole movie, and he has to learn like to see her as a human before, which is ironic because she gets turned into a swan. So there's this whole like, he's got to go through this journey. I think there's still plenty of growth that could have happened between both of these characters, but for what it was for the time, animation looks great, voice acting is good, the songs are good. It's probably one of the best non-Disney movies of the era. John Cleese plays a French frog in it, which is pretty funny. And yeah, just overall pretty solid.
You ever see Thumbelina?
Yeah, it feels like that kind of era. Thumbelina,
Yeah.
American Tail, Ferngully.
Well, because Thumbelina, like it's Courtney is the one that showed me it, and my daughter also really likes the movie, and I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's fine. But it is an interesting. It's a lot more self-empowering, like women empowering movie than I was expecting it to be.
Yeah,
because it starts off with her, like she's going to be married to this prince, and she's so excited, but then she gets kidnapped, and literally everyone just wants her to get married to her.
Yeah,
and it's not until she stop going with the flow that she's able to fight back and escape. So she's a very meek character for the majority of the movie, and the whole thing is like, remember your song type of thing. Like I'm kind of paraphrasing a lot.
Yeah,
actually. I don't say remember your song, but like it was surprising to me where it's like the whole point of the movie is that you're more than just the person you marry, which is, at the time that's pretty subversive.
Like there's the whole "Marry the Mole" song. Like they sing a whole song about it. It's just like, she's just like, yeah, just settle, whatever. He has money, and she's like, no, I want to love who I want to love. And Parallax,
exactly.
It's not Secret of Nim, but they're very similar. It was Once Upon a Forest, where they build the.
I never heard of that one.
So it's so funny that that one, that you bring that up, because Police and I have plans to watch that as a double feature, because we would always get them confused. So we've done a couple of like non-Disney double feature movies where we watch like the first two All Dogs Go to Heaven movies, or
what was that movie called? Sorry.
Once Upon a Forest. It was the one where it was like little animal creatures, and there was like a toxic oil spill or something. and the one character gets sick and they have
Wow.
to go get her better.
I had never heard about this.
It is sad.
It's funny. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's very Disney looking from the creator of An American Tail. So yeah, it's very
Yeah.
like Don Bluth ish.
Yep.
Um,
But there was
not directed by Don Bluth though. But
no, that was just kind of, you were either emulating Disney or you were emulating Don Bluth at the time, because Swan Princess looks a lot like Don Bluth, like ripped off.
let me see.
They were tearing down the forest. Oh, I think it was just an oil spill. The tearing down the forest one was Fern Gully, which is also excellent. You get Tim Curry voicing a sentient blob of straight up pure pollution. A really horny Tim Curry for a kids movie. You get Robin Williams in one of his only 3 animation roles ever. You get my pixie girl awakening in Krista the Fairy. I watched that movie again recently and I was like, damn. Like, oh, she fine. You know who else is fine? Parallax. My God, why did nobody ever tell me that Dot Matrix was so fucking fine? My God, she's the girl from Reboot. There's also that kooky movie called
I'm
The
like
Halloween
looking at- I'm trying
Tree.
to-
Oh my God, you just unlocked a whole ass memory. I used to watch that. It would come on TV all the time around Halloween. I gotta go back and rewatch that. I remember, the only thing I remember about that movie is that I think a character, it was the first time I heard a character say, oh my God, in a movie. And I was like, oh, that's so bad. Ah, you had a crush on Dot Matrix? Hell yeah. Good taste. Wow. What a deep dive into the early 90s.
I'm trying to remember. There is a movie that I saw that this is all kind of reminding me of. I could have sworn it was called like The Littlest Brother. It was like an animated movie, but it was like a Christian, maybe not Christian. I don't. Oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of this. It's gonna drive. I thought it was like hold on, Christian animated '90s movies. I'm gonna have to,
VeggieTales. You're gonna get a lot of VeggieTales.
a list of Christian animations. That's interesting to see.
I had a rewatch last year with my son. Many Memories. It's on YouTube. Oh, I bet it's on YouTube. Those old ones are often just
wow, okay, I remember
up there.
that. McGee and Me. I remember that.
That sounds
Sorry,
familiar.
I'm like go. I'm gonna have to try to find this. There was something that I was like really obsessed with as a kid. It was really good, and I can't find it at all. That's gonna be very frustrating.
Well, let me take us back in time a little bit more into the 90s, and then I'll go back a little bit further into the 80s, and then I'll be done, and we can call it for tonight.
Yeah, I actually have to watch something tonight. I have to watch a Mario cartoon for a recording session tomorrow.
Oh, dang. Well, it wouldn't be me if I wasn't talking about Sonic for at least a little bit. I started playing 2 Sonic games at the same time. Both that I started and played like the first couple of levels, maybe like first level when they first came out, and never finished them, which is astounding because they're 2 of the best Sonic games, and it makes me really embarrassed to say. But I started playing Sonic Rush, which was the one on the DS with the soundtrack by Hideki Naganuma of Jet Set Radio fame. I forgot Leonard Nimoy was in the Halloween Tree. Oh, R.I.P. Yeah. Sonic Rush is really cool. Playing a DS game on an actual DS in 2025 is wild. Because I realized I hadn't played one since like Pokemon X and Y maybe, or Sun and Moon. And then I also started, and I'm planning to actually continue and beat this time as well, Sonic Mania.
That game is really good.
It's so good. Like, again, I'm playing it with Lisa. I'm showing her all of the Sonic games. We're going in somewhat order, chronological story order. So we did 1, 2, 3, 3 and Knuckles, and we even played the 16-bit fan-made remake of Triple Trouble, which is excellent. We just started Mania, and holy shit, we're like 4 levels in, and I'm like, is this the best Sonic game? Is this the best one? Is my life a lie?
Mania?
Yeah. I'm like, is this it? Because it's such a love letter.
I'm surprised you haven't played it.
So I did. It was one of those weird things where I got it when it came out. Was like so excited. Obviously, I'm a huge Sega fan, Sonic fan. I was like, this looks amazing. It's a love letter to the old Sonics. I played the first level. I was on a plane. I forget where I was going. And I played the first level. And then I loved it. And then I think I got to where I was going, or a layover or whatever. Or I went to sleep. Something broke the gameplay up. And then I was like, I was somewhere to do something. Maybe it was when I went to Disney in like when did that come out? 2016. And so then I was doing, vacation stuff. And then I didn't play it at all when I was there, and I didn't play it on the plane on the way back. And then I just put the Switch away when I came back, and I just never like got back around to playing it. So all this time, I can't explain it. I had other things, I guess, that I was playing and doing, and I just fell off of it, which pisses me off because it's fucking amazing. It's so good. Some of the most creative level designs I've ever seen. They're reinterpretations of Green Hill. So it's so cool. You go Green Hill, obviously Sonic 1, like kind of reinterpreted. Then you do Chemical Plant Zone, which is the second level of Sonic 2, which they make really cool and do totally different things. Then you go into like Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine as the boss fight. You go into like the puzzle game, like the Puyo Puyo puzzle game. And then there's like what feels like a Pulse Man reference. I'm dropping a lot of deep cuts, I realize. But have you played Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine or Kirby's Avalanche or Puyo Puyo? Because they're all the same game.
I mean, I know of all of them. I haven't really played any of them though.
Okay. So it's another Sega property. It's this game called Puyo Puyo. They rebranded it in the 90s as Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. Put the game out on Sega. Really cool. You go into like a boss fight that's like you're playing that game in Sonic Mania in the Chemical Plant Zone. And it's so goddamn cool. And the music is like references the music. There's a Sega published, Game Freak developed game called Pulse Man that came out.
That I know.
Yeah. And the whole traveling through the wires thing and the zigzag volt tackle thing, which is why Pikachu has a move called Volt Tackle. There's your little trivia for the day. That game is great. I love Pulse Man. There's like a reference to that in Sonic Mania where you go through the wires in Studiopolis Zone, which is like another really, really interesting zone that's all like, the music is like lights, camera, action, and you're like smashing through glass, and there's like you'll break up big TV monitor with Eggman's face, and it just says like, there becomes like the no signal color bar things, and it's astoundingly fun, and it reminds me of why I love Sonic. Going back to the old Sonic games can be kind of janky because they're super old. But this is like
Mania is such a good like updating of that formula.
Yes. Yeah, and it's like the 16-bit graphics, but it looks better. It's like 32-bit maybe, I don't know the actual number of the bits, but it's excellent. And Sonic Rush is really good too.
Blast processing.
Sega does what Nintendo don't.
32 bits.
16 bits. Oh my god. I one day will make
that is a deep cut for only us.
Yes, I will make that once I lose all respect for myself, I will make that available for the public to view. I made a fake Sega commercial when I was in college, and it's the best worst thing anyone's ever seen. Sonic Mania is awesome. Sonic Rush is awesome. It does some really cool stuff between the two screens on the DS, where you'll be on the bottom screen and you'll shoot yourself up super fast, and you go up to the top screen. It's the first game to do like the boost mechanics. Blaze the Cat is awesome. The music is just another Jet Set Radio soundtrack, so obviously all bangers front to back. A lot of style. Really difficult though, like frustratingly difficult. So I'm looking forward to playing both of those. Last thing that I'll say that I played, if you saw my stream last night, I started playing Devil May Cry 5. Really solid. I know you hate Devil May Cry. It is.
I only played the first one, so I can't say I hate the series.
Oh, that's fair.
And
that's
first
it's
one
janky.
is bad.
I don't think it's bad, but
No,
it's rough.
Bad. It's flat. Like oof. Nope. I couldn't get into it. I'll leave it at that. I think the controls are so bad. Sorry.
Well, then you would hate Devil May Cry 5 because it's the same controls, but they're not janky and stiff.
Well, then there's not the same. Sorry. The control. Sorry. I'll clarify that. The controls are fine. The physics and the camera angles and everything with the first one, like my issue. What I didn't like about the first one is that there is. How can I put this? So you know how like if you play Dark Souls, there's ways to be really good at it if you get good at dodging, if you get good at other stuff, but there's always a way to kind of like brute force it. If you really want to take your time, you can go to another place, level up a little bit, come back, and like you don't have to necessarily be the most technical player to figure it out, type of thing.
Yeah.
Devil May Cry, you have to just figure out the janky physics. You have to. If you don't, you aren't going to beat the game. I remember, and I think the other thing from what I remember with that game, every enemy was a bullet sponge. So like I would spend so much time just having to run away from enemies because they hit hard.
Yeah, they do.
And shooting them, and you would spend like 3 minutes, not that long, that's being dramatic. We'll say 30 seconds just trying to kill one enemy, which is an eternity in game time.
Right.
Like,
one of like the 10 enemies.
Shoot. And when they have 10, you're just spending, like, it really just feels like, well, we need this game to be longer, so we're going to turn all the enemies into bullet sponges, but also not make you a bullet sponge, so when you get hit, it fucking hurts.
Yeah. Which I get it, like, it forces you to be better. Like, Ninja Gaiden's like that too. Like, you don't level up in Ninja Gaiden, you just have to figure out the patterns, get better, and it is frustrating.
I think you can. To me, that's bad design, though. There's ways to make players get better without making the difficulty arbitrarily, or like make the enemy patterns harder. Like, I was able to figure out the basic enemies pretty easily, but then it just became like, okay, now I'm just having to kite them around in a tight space, which is not fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's just it's not fun. It doesn't teach you anything because you can't, like, you don't have space to, like, there's no safe ways for you to practice combos because you get murdered. And the checkpoints aren't like too bad from what I remember, but for me, from what I remember, granted it was like 5 years ago when I tried it, the bullet sponge nature of the enemies is, I think, a really bad choice. Like,
yeah.
I don't think it's good design at all.
I don't like that either, and that is something that they have fixed in the later games. If anyone wants,
I could probably handle it.
Yeah. If anyone wants to get into this series, I would always say start with 3, which sounds counterintuitive, but it's the first one in the chronological order of the story, and it's the one that plays, not the best. I don't know which one between 3, 4, and 5 play the best, but they just get tighter and more fluid every time. And I've loved what I've played so far of just the first couple levels of DMC5. It's very fluid.
Nice.
It's not quite as bullet spongy. There are a couple enemies that do have that, and I'm like, okay, now I'm breaking my flow of the combos, and it's just not as fun. Like, if you're gonna have character action games, like, you should be able to, like, go from one enemy to another, Ninja Gaiden style, just like combo, dead, and then you'll randomly hit like this one enemy type that's like doesn't really do anything. It just runs around and you just have to sit there slashing at it or shooting it or whatever. And it's like, yep, okay, so we haven't completely changed everything. Devil May Cry, but it's a lot of fun. Johnny Young Bosch voicing Nero, which is funny because he voices Dante in the Netflix version.
I will have
great.
to like give it. I've found that for myself, like the style action games, the games that focus on like how cool you can make your moves do, I generally don't enjoy.
Yeah.
And it's only because like I never like the combos never feel intuitive. Like I never feel like I'm able to understand how they want me to play. Um like
Interesting.
I've played like other games from because like Platinum is kind of like it's not the same. It's not Platinum who developed Devil May Cry 5, right?
No, but a lot of the team, I think some of the team from one went on to develop like Bayonetta.
Pretty sure, yeah, because the director of that would go on to like
yeah,
do other
Kamiya.
stuff. Yeah, Kamiya. Yeah. So like, what is it? Platinum did the game Astral Chain.
Yeah.
And that game had a lot of like if they would give you style points for stuff like that, but they had a way for you just to play it straight too, and it would reward you for style points. Like you could level up faster with style points, you could get more abilities and other stuff. Like you could do more if you were stylish, and you could do it faster. So it
That's
rewards
the same thing
players
in Devil May Cry.
In the original one too.
I think in all of them, yeah. Like the better your
Okay.
combo meters and style meters are, the more orbs you get, which then you use to upgrade.
I think then for me it was the bullet sponge that really just killed me any type of love I had for that game because it just took all the joy out of it. Where I'm just like I don't want to be stuck in this hallway trying to meander stuff because I need to fight enemies to get more abilities, but the fighting the enemies is tedious and it's not fun.
I don't love the Resident Evil fixed camera angles in that game.
Yeah, I mean that's a product of its time. I forgive that game for its fixed camera angles because that like God of War had fixed camera angles and that was in 2005. Right. So like fixed camera angles was a thing from that era. So I don't begrudge it that.
I will say the one thing, like the coolest thing that you can do in every single Devil May Cry, and it's the first thing I did in DMC5, and it's the same controls, and it still feels just as good as it did back in Devil May Cry 1. You do the combo where you launch them up in the air with the sword, then you pull the guns out, and you're keeping them up in the air with the guns as you're just like
It's a
coolest,
really cool idea.
Iconic combo ever.
I understand what they're trying to get with those types of games, but like a lot of times the stylized action platformer stuff or stylized action games, I always just feel like they're very clunky for me, and I think it's just me. Like I can never quite understand the mechanics they're trying to teach me. It's kind of that same way for me with like fighting games where it's like I get it, like I get how the combos work, like on a very surface level, but like if you ask me to try to implement a combo, like I don't understand. It's like a foreign language to me. And I don't. Part of that you just have to practice. But I will say I would rather play a fighting game than playing a Devil May Cry game.
Whoa.
Oh no, it's not even close.
That's
like,
really surprising.
Fighting games at least like I feel like there's a chance for me to learn. Devil May Cry felt very insurmountable. Like when I was trying to play it, it felt so like frustrating to understand any types of mechanics. Fighting games, they are easy to pick up, hard to master. Devil May Cry is hard to pick up and hard to master.
Yeah, I will say it's probably easier to pick up a fighting game. Well, though, I don't know.
You can always button mash in a fighting game. You cannot do that in Devil May Cry. Not well, I should say.
Yeah. I'm hesitantly going to give you that one.
I mean, I'm not going to say you can't button mash in Devil May Cry, but it's not as effective. I'll say that.
Yeah. I find myself actually, like, I found myself in 5 anyway, as I'm getting used to the controls, a bit overwhelmed with how many things you can do. Like, I hate when there's, like, a limited amount of things you can do, where it's like, okay, well, I'm pushing this button, and it's like, oh, it didn't do anything. You can string together just about everything into a combo in 5, which is really cool, but I'm like, my brain is like, okay, well, what's like the best thing to do? Like, what's the cool, like, and then you have to learn, like, oh, when I press circle after I press triangle, it is like a fighting game. You're like, you have to learn the combos of the character, and it's like, should I do gun now, or should I, like, and you're learning, like, okay, when I'm locked on and I press circle, I do the grappling arm thing, which pulls the enemy to me, or if it's a big enemy, me to the enemy. If I'm not locked on and I press circle, then I do whatever ability that this arm has, like, because you get different arms. Long story. And so it's like you almost have like R1 is like your modifier, and you have different moves based on whether you're holding R1, which is your lock on. And so it's like I get overwhelmed. But I had a good time figuring things out, and I got to the first like big boss fight, and it took me 3 tries, which I think is fair. Any more, and I think I would have gotten annoyed. And if I got through it too easily, I would have been like, well, okay, well, I was just pressing triangle to win, and I don't like that either. So it feels like a good balance. Graphics are gorgeous.
If you want a button mashing action game, you play a Dynasty Warriors game.
Right. And I can't stand those games because it's like, I want to kill 1,000 of the same looking guy. it's like,
oh man, it's so fun. So to be fair, I've not played or had the desire to play one in a while, but it is really illustrating our difference of preferences, because I love Dynasty Warriors.
That's so funny.
I love easily monotonous movements.
I can't stand that. And I also don't like a lot of like strategy stuff like you like RTSs and even
those are not monotonous. I should say those are not repetitive. They are very monotonous. So like depending on how you want to play it, but like because the reason being, especially if we're playing against another player, the strategy like is always different. Like hell, even playing against bots sometimes, like there'll be times where I realize like I should have gone on the offensive because earlier because the bot like attacked me first and fucked me over, then I have to quit. So like it's interesting, but yeah, like RTSs are very like the way I think of monotonous is like, or like repetitive is like a button mashing type of game, whether it's your Warriors games or whatever it may be. And to be clear, I'm not saying that fighting games are like that. I think fighting games, you can do that, but if you actually want to be good at a fighting game, you actually have to understand its mechanics.
Right.
Dynasty Warriors, you don't have to understand its mechanics. You just have to fucking hit square 1,000 times.
Yeah. Unless it's the Hyrule Warriors, because I played that. I played the Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, and I actually I liked it. Like I thought it was a solid, 7 out of 10. Like it's a good game. Every single character has different mechanics though, and that was like, oh my god, why do I have to learn how to do combos in a Dynasty Warriors game? I'm not here
now
for
you
this.
Understand why it's got to be so simple.
Yes, yeah. But once you do get it down, that game was really cool. I played it for the story. I got into Breath of the Kingdom. Breath of the Wild.
Breath
Jesus.
of the Wild.
Oh my god. Breath of the Kingdom. Tears of the Wild. Anyway, I simp for the Impa. Oh, I simp for the Imp. Yeah. Oh, Impa in Age of Calamity is awesome. She's very ninja.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez?
Oh my god, yeah, AOC. Simp for the Imp in the AOC. You down with AOC? Yeah, you know
me.
Very good. Last thing. I have one more thing, and then I know that you will like it. I finally watched Naked Gun.
Oh, the newest one.
Nope, the 1988 one.
What did you think of it?
Loved it. I don't want to go super deep dive into it. I think Top Secret was better, but
Top Secret is fantastic. I think Naked Gun is still a lot of fun though.
Naked Gun was great. There was a lot of absolutely laugh out loud moments, and a lot of really subtle ones that really made me laugh out loud. Like the fact that the hospital is called The Hospital. Like there's a big sign in the front of the hospital instead of like, they usually do like Mercy General Hospital. It just says The Hospital. Or like when they go down to the police station, it just says The Police Station, which just killed me. And the other one that had me laughing so hard that I had to stop. I had to pause the movie. Was and there's plenty of moments like this. It was when they first get to the crime scene on the boat, and he's walking and talking to his commissioner or whatever, captain, and you can hear a cop on a like megaphone going like, nothing to see here. Move along. Get going. Come on, people, move. And as the camera moves in front of them, there's people just watching, and then you see the guy with the megaphone just right in their faces, just like with the megaphone in their face, just being like, get the hell out of here. And for some reason, that one got me so bad. All the dialogue with OJ in the beginning when he's like, the ship with all the heroin on it was called I Love You. And he's like, no, I love you. And he's like, well, I love you too. He's like, drugs. He's like, nurse, get this man something stronger. Can't you see he's in pain? And he's like, no, heroin. He's like, I don't know. You're going to have to give me a couple days for that. It's so good. There's a couple of like cringy eye rolly ones that I'm like, okay, it was the 80s. But for the most part, really solid. Very funny. That era, it sounds like with the new one, that era is gonna come back, because that was king for a while. I mean, like Naked Gun and Airplane and Hot Shots, like,
and Mel Brooks' stuff on conjunction with all that.
That super like absurd. I liked it a lot, but it just made me want to watch Top Secret, which was like, I'm like, no,
it's so good.
It's so fucking
Top
funny when he crushes the guitar around her when he hugs her. When the guy goes in to interrupt the Nazi meeting, and he's like telling him that so and so escaped, and he has like a find him and kill him stamp that he like stamps the paper with. So good when he's painting on the train. And it shows what he's painting, and it's just a blur.
Oh
my god! But it made me want to watch the other two. I think I missed the window to see the new one in theaters, so I saw that it's on streaming. So I'll probably watch the other two pretty soon, and then watch the Liam Neeson one. But
it's funny. It's been so long since I've seen the original one. So all the stuff you're saying, I'm like, I don't remember it, but it sounds really good.
Oh my god!
It's been so long since I've seen it. I love that style of comedy, man. I think that style of comedy still holds up incredibly well.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, obviously the jokes on some of the older ones aren't going to hold up to scrutiny now, but like the vibe and the feel and how they approached the writing in it, I still think is very like applicable. It's still funny. I still think it could be done today, and obviously they did do it with the new Naked Gun movie.
Yeah.
I want to see more stuff like that. I want to see more just like slapstick, silly for the sake of silly, nonsensical jokes.
Totally nonsensical.
I think what's great about it is that, like, I think for a while there's a lot of comedy movies that were like narrative comedy movies, and this movie doesn't give a shit about the plot. Those movies, they don't care about the plot. They just want to see how many jokes can we cram into every frame of this movie and have it still be entertaining to watch.
And it's not as much like situational comedy, I don't think. Like, there's the whole bit where he accidentally kills the prized fish in the fish tank, and it's like, okay, with the pen that can only be destroyed by water. And like, that's funny. But a lot of it is puns and the writing and when he goes to meet that guy, he's like, "Oh, nice to meet you, Detective Blevin, sir," and he looks away and he doesn't see the guy pull out the box of Cuban cigars, and so when he goes, "Cuban," and he goes, "No, Irish. My mother was Welsh." Like, it's in the dialogue and and double entendres and stuff, and of course you have the legendary, she goes up into the attic and he's kind of looking up her dress, and he goes, "Nice beaver." And she goes, "Thanks, I just had it stuffed." And she hands down like an actual stuffed beaver. Like, the double entendres, like, yeah, it's a bit eye-rolling and corny and cringy, but like, it's still funny. In a very particular way, in a very particular set of skills, to bring it back to Liam Neeson. I was pleasantly surprised at how much I still liked that movie. Not still as if I had seen it in the past, but still,
but
as
how much you ended up enjoying it,
seeing it this late, like 30 some odd years later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 38.
All right, we do have to wrap this up.
Yes,
man. I have to watch that Mario episode before bed.
Yep, that was my last thing.
The last things I'm gonna say too, just to wrap up my stuff, when while we were talking about those animated movies. I found that movie I was thinking of.
Oh, okay.
It's not a Christian movie. It's called The Seventh Brother, and it's like
The Seventh Brother.
is it what was it? Was it like Finnish or like I don't know or Swedish? Hold on, let me see here.
While you're looking for that
Hungarian,
parallax.
Hungarian.
Oh, okay.
It's a Hungarian animated feature from 1991. It was published in America, brought to America by a company called Feature Films for Families.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Why does it sound
And
like the
that
James Dobson bullshit?
Honestly, probably is. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, I'm glad he's dead.
What is interesting, though, here's something outrageously weird.
Uh-huh.
In looking up, because I thought it was a Christian cartoon, I just Googled Christian cartoons or whatever. There's an anime, like genuine anime.
What?
It called The Flying House. It was made by Tatsunoko.
Yo, what?
Tatsunoko, yeah.
Yeah.
1982 to 1983 was its original run. 52 episodes. It was released. The original network was TV Tokyo. Makes sense.
Right? Yeah.
The North American network was the Christian Broadcasting Network.
What the hell? Did they try to like Christianify it?
I have no goddamn idea.
That's so weird.
I don't understand any of it. I have no idea. I'm completely baffled by this. The plot, according to Wikipedia, the series begins in the middle of a game of hide and seek as a young boy named Justin Casey finishes counting. It's the 80s. Counting 80s localizations. Counting as a young boy named Justin Casey finishes counting and begins searching for his friends Angela Roberts and her little brother or Angie Roberts and her little brother Corwin Roberts, Corky Roberts. As he searches for Angie and Corky in a wooded area, a thunderstorm occurs. Justin manages to sneak up on the two before the rain starts pouring, forcing them to run from cover. They eventually find a spacecraft-type house in the wooded area, previously unseen, according to Justin. At first glance, it appears that nobody is home until they discover a clown battery-type android named Solar Ion Robot, or SIR for short. They soon meet the owner of the house, Professor Humphrey Bumble, who introduces the children to his greatest creation, half rocket, half house, and one-of-a-kind time machine named the Flying House. So it looks like they just kind of go, okay, so here's where it is. Justin, Corky, and Sir realize how long the journey back home will... So I guess they go to the past, and I guess like they get stuck in the past, I guess. They realize how long it will take due to Professor Bumble's misguidance and errors in time travel, but in the meantime, they witness and participate with little or no consequences to numerous events of the Bible's New Testament, from the birth of John the Baptist to the rise of Paul the Apostle. So these kids go back in time and experience Bible stories.
Whoa.
And it's full anime, dude. This is not like Americans pretending to do anime. They got Tatsunoko to do this.
So they outsourced
I don't
the
know
animation.
if they commissioned it or not. I'm so confused. I genuinely don't know if it was commissioned. If it like I
That is wild. The localization names are killing me too. Justin Casey, and Angela Roberts. Are they going to eat some fucking
apparently the
jelly
Japanese
donuts?
Names. Apparently, the Japanese name for Justin Casey is Gen Adachi, and then for the brother and sister, it's Kana and Tsukubo Natsuyama.
I don't understand that. Give them American names.
I am so baffled by this, man. I genuinely am just completely and utterly baffled by this.
Well,
I don't know if they commissioned it. It originally aired in the 80s too, so I'm fascinated by this. I have to know if this was commissioned or did they just see this was like Japanese doing Bible stories. They're like, we'll take that, and bought the rights for the American release. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, they love our like Western religion as an aesthetic, just like we love, Japanese traditional, the temples and stuff. Like, so neither would really surprise me. I think I would be a little bit more surprised if a company like commissioned them to do this. But I gotta know, like, there's no way that if it was original that it was like supposed to be Christian. Like if it was originally just a Tatsunoko anime. Which now I want to go back and watch Gotcha Man. AKA God, what was it called? War for the Planets.
The last thing I'll say, just because when I looked up the family feature films or whatever it was, it reminded me of another movie my parents bought me during my evangelical phase.
Bible Man?
Called No. My grandmother bought me that. And that's not a joke. That's true.
I believe it.
Here's the thing though. It's a weird fucking name, and honestly, it sounds a little pervy.
Okay.
It's called the Buttercream Gang.
Okay. It's called Get on Your Knees and Repent.
Unlike most gangs, the Buttercream Gang does good deeds. Their leader, Pete, must go live with his aunt in Chicago, but things don't go well there, and Pete has changed when he returns. Soon he is hanging around with the wrong crowd, but the remaining members of the gang, especially their new leader, Scott, refuse to give up on their friend Pete.
Wow. They were playing jacks in the back alley like a bunch of sinners and hoodlums.
Gambling for pretzels.
Yeah. See you, Parallax. Anyway, I can only imagine.
Going, though.
Yeah. Well, this was a great episode about Boku no Natsuyasumi. You even texted me today. You're like, "Oh, we're gonna talk about Boku no Natsuyasumi tonight, right?" And I was like, "Yep, we totally are." He lied.
Well, and then remember next week we were going to talk about Clerks. I think we'll have to push it back though.
Yeah, I think we will too. That's funny. Well, it'll give me time to put out my audio, my video about my audio diaries, so I can relive those and be a little bit more refreshed, because that's what we're going to talk about, playing it day by day and recording our audio thoughts. So this worked out, and this was still fun. I always love these, as we said from the beginning, to bookend it with good feelings. These are always fun, and a nice escape from the horrors of late stage capitalism.
Like I said, watch that video on creating cartoon sounds. It'll give you lots of joy.
Yeah, I like that. Well, that will do it for us tonight. Thank you, sir, for hanging out. Thank you, chat, for hanging out. We got a couple people left in chat, so I think we'll raid on over to... Oh, it's just you. It's just you, and Parallax is gone. Maybe we can raid Drew, because he's streaming.
Why not? I'll stay on just to count for a number.
Yeah. Sweet. Well, we will call it a night until not tomorrow. Well, I'll be back tomorrow. We, as a duo, will be back Tuesday. Y'all, take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. Go to therapy. Watch Beast Wars. And that video Josh was talking about.
Creating cartoon sounds with John Batiste on the Josh Harmon YouTube channel.
Excellent.
Easy to remember.
Super easy. Barely an inconvenience. All right, everyone. Night. See ya in Drew's place. Tell him I sent ya.